Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Codex Legendarium. Happy Sunday. Glad you could make it. 2 weeks in a row. Look at us go. Before we get started and I get into the recap, is there anything for the channel, Justin?
Nope.
All right. Come see us on Wednesday. We just played a deadly game of hide and seek. Well, the game of hide and seek wasn't deadly, but everything around it was.
True.
All right. So, oh, Justin, you've got look at the overlay. You've got
Oh,
Jora in the wrong spot.
yes. Because
Like that's not
when
Bennett.
people left, took their webcams off.
Oh, gotcha. I'm surprised that they stay. Like normally, it like it's when they're all. That's right. When they're all off, it like shifts you
Yeah.
down, so it's like half and half. But anyway, right. So last week, y'all kind of put together the information that you had, that you'd been given from, or that you'd taken from your raid on Mumbleton Manor. You found a lot of it, but using it is going to be a little bit more involved than just finding it. So, also, Jora just vanished because their cat turned their computer off, apparently. So they'll be back in a moment.
Ah.
Feline-related technical difficulties. Yep, there they go. So, I'll continue with the recap. Everyone put together all of your information and everything, and also found your outfits that you had purchased for these soirees and events in general. You got all dressed and everything, and you got ready to go, and then you all headed over with Lady Stanway to Clawborn Manor, which, now that you know that Dieter serves a evil crustacean, is a little on the nose, honestly. He's really not being subtle about it. You got in Lady Stanway's boat, you took it out into the water. Clawborn Manor is out on its own small island. It's a small island, but it's still an island. It's about the size of, like, a manor grounds. There are some nobles that keep their houses on islands and places outside of the main city, Mumbleton Manor being one of them. There's others like Monty's family who keeps their home in the city. There's advantages and disadvantages to both. In the city, you have proximity to everything, and it's very easy for you to make your way to political things, whereas out in the country, as these kind of equivalently are, you get a lot more space. So it seems like Dieter prefers the space. He's got his own island here, surrounded by hedges, and the areas of the island, as you got off the boat and stepped onto the island, you found that the main area is like a main lawn, where there's just kind of like small tables set up and buffets and bars and things like that. On the far southern end of the island, is a circus tent, a big red and black circus tent that we now know says Reverend Skytaker's Shooting Stars, a name that seemed very familiar to Yulyanya. I think she's said it before, so Tedros would recognize it too. So there's that. That's where Tedros and Yulyanya are. Montblanc was on the lawn. He had just been talking to Bobby Reed, a recent, just a recent sign up onto the Orchid. Very, very much reminded Monty of a young version of himself. Maybe she's probably a bit more like clumsy and bumbling than he was. She knocked over some stuff immediately, and he helped her save face in front of a waiter, which will actually have a bit of an effect here, which I'll talk about in a minute. In addition, in this sort of central area across from where you all docked, there is a garden and a hedge maze for some privacy. And then further north, there are some fountains, as well as just straight up, basically hot tubs. Yule incoming. Basically just like hot tubs set into the ground that people are just hanging out and relaxing in. Past that is kind of a more just going over the lay of the land. Past that is more of a like dining area, a little bit more formal, long tables to sit at. Right next to it's kind of like right butting up against the house, where there's like a big garden balcony that looks out over the whole yard and the whole eating area, and then there's the house, and there's like guest houses and stuff for if you want to get private with somebody. So yeah, that's where we found ourselves. Like I said, Yulyanya and Tedros made their way over to the circus tent, which says Reverend Skytaker Shooting Stars right there in a big old sign right on the side, which you all just read. And Montblanc just helped Bobby Reed save face and knocked some appetizers out of a waiter's hand, which is where I'm going to get into. Before we get into getting started, I would like to go over how we're going to handle social standing. So, I was very inspired by Dragon Age Inquisition, specifically the ball in Inquisition, where you go and you have your court approval meter. I figured that'd be something that's important to implement. So what we're going to do is it's very, very simple. Basically, for the purposes of social standing counts as kind of a 7th ability score. I'm going to treat it just like an ability score, same kind of scale of points and everything. 10 being completely average, 1 being abysmal, 20 being incredible. And it affects how people view you in these social situations. Of course, charisma can help. For certain roles, you can, in fact, add your social standings bonus as if it were an ability score to certain social roles. It also comes up as a penalty to those roles if you have a negative. Certain actions can raise or lower it as you go. I'll tell you, we'll keep track of it as we go. And yeah, just basically acting with class and grace and in a way that endears yourself to the nobility around, usually, will increase your social standing, and acting overtly confrontational and boorish and just generally not vibing with the just uncultured, not vibing with the scene will lower your social standing. There are ways that, there are ways that things like confrontation and boorishness can not impact your social standing, but in order for that to happen, you need to kind of understand the rules of the society you're in and know when certain things are acceptable and when they're not. For example, a very uptight society may feel very poorly about directly confronting someone in public loudly, except for the circumstance where that confrontation is a challenge to a duel, for example. There may be rules to allow for these things within that society itself, and you just gotta kind of find them or be aware of them. So, you all actually start at different levels of social standing.
Makes sense.
So, Yulyanya, your social standing is starting at a neutral 10.
Oh.
Perfectly in the middle. No one knows Yulyanya is an outsider, but also there's no feelings one way or the other. Montblanc is starting at a 12.
Okay, so that would be a +1.
Yes, granting a +1 bonus to certain types of social interaction. Seems like the fact that he fits in specifically with the local style and just his bearing and his he fits in. So just everything about him just kind of fits in. He's a stranger still, but he's a stranger that definitely knows his way around this place. So he gets a bit of an air of intrigue about him. And Tedros, similar to Yulyanya, except Titan's Grave has a general lack of religion and does not necessarily feel positively about it. So given that Tedros is an outsider, basically wearing religious vestments or something evoking religious vestments, Tedros is starting at a 9.
Oh no.
So people are looking at Tedros's choice of attire and his getting that sense off of him and just kind of what's that about? We don't do that here. Who is this guy? So, that is where we are starting. However, Montblanc has successfully, I will tell you, every guest at this party also has a level of social standing. I won't necessarily tell you what they are. You can perhaps investigate and try to find these out. If your social standing is higher than somebody else, they will generally want to be friendly with you, because they want to kiss up to someone who can help them ascend the ranks of the social hierarchy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
If theirs is higher than yours, they will generally be more resistant to doing things that you want them to do or something like that, because they view you as beneath them. You
Unless
can
they have
affect.
something to offer.
True, exactly. Yes, it's still possible, but like it requires a bit more doing. Someone who's lower than you, you can pretty much just like strike up a conversation with, and they're immediately going to be like all about you. Along with that, you can affect not only your own social standing, but the social standing of others. So you can do things such as create a situation to embarrass a person, create rumors, that sort of thing, in an attempt to lower someone else's social standing. However, doing something like showing support for somebody in an embarrassing situation or otherwise supporting them and helping them out can raise theirs, which is why Bobby Reed went from an 8 to a 9 thanks to Montblanc's efforts, and also has given Montblanc the gratitude of Bobby Reed. So not only is Bobby is a lower social standing than Montblanc at this current party, but even with that, Bobby is especially grateful towards Montblanc now, and will be especially interested in helping out Montblanc in whatever endeavors he so chooses to engage in. So you currently have the gratitude of Bobby Reed, the newest sailor on the Orchid, which is currently landlocked. There are people around. There is. I will mention Montblanc. You noticed last time he is the one who can identify people and recognize them. You did recognize a bunch of nobles, both from what you heard from the current political factions. I've mentioned before, Titan's Grave doesn't occupy like a political party system. Mm-hmm. It tends to occupy a much more fluid faction system. So it's kind of like they operate almost like parties, but they're a lot more fluid and they change a lot more consistently. So it's kind of like, depending on what the current issues are, factions will form, like almost like teams in a pickup game of sports. And then once the important decisions are made involving that conflict, they'll dissolve, and then new factions will form. So people will have the possibility to float back and forth between them, but usually they do tend to kind of create two separate social circles, just because like you tend to be more friendly with the people you're allied with, and then when the next faction forms, you're more likely to stick with your friends. So currently the isolationist faction and the outreach faction are present, as well as you do see many of the captains of the other ships also here around the party as well with their crews. And then we of course have the circus. So would anyone in particular like to start?
Nope.
All right. Tedros is kind of here supporting you also.
Yeah.
Let's say, all right. Montblanc and Yulyanya both roll initiative.
Sure.
Let's just see who goes first. We're not starting combat. I just want to make that very clear. We're just using to decide who we go with.
Big old 5.
Did you say you rolled 5?
Yeah.
I rolled 5.
Oh, that's incredible.
Go again.
Roll again, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
17.
Ooh, that was a close one. All right, then Yulyanya, you're going first. You and Tedros have walked up right in front of a circus tent that is different than the one you had, but that kind of makes sense.
I'm realizing I forgot to add initiative, so I would have been going first either way.
Oh, okay.
Done so.
The tent is different than the tent you performed in before, but that kind of makes sense because that tent is still thrown out in the tundra somewhere because you had to clean it up. It was abandoned just with you, so we're going to be performing in a tent, they need a new one. So this one
What are the
is
colors of this tent again?
black and a red.
Black and red.
Yes. It does look newer, a little bit less faded, a little bit more fancy. There is kind of like, the tassels on the end of a curtain. There's like that along the edges. So like the front kind of has like a natural like awning that kind of comes off the front of it and drapes down, creating like a little bit of a tunnel towards the entrance. And you can see it has those like golden tassels around the edges and the outside. And just generally seems like a very high quality of fabric. So definitely a fancier tent than the one you were traveling with.
Is there any music playing?
There is definitely music playing, and the music is it is a familiar tune. It is the usual it's the usual, not like in the middle of performance music, but
Like
more
the
just
start music.
kind of, yeah. And you would know that for events like this, for a large party, people tend to not want to miss things. They don't want to commit to sitting down for an extended period of time unless you've like made a big spectacle of it. So it's less the starting music and more like just kind of the, I want to say idling music. Just like you would be familiar at this point. This kind of style would be almost like a showcase. It's kind of like an open house style. Like people are around and performing a little bit to just like so nobles can walk in, walk around.
Yeah, the usual.
Yeah, kind of like see what's happening and then leave, and then like perhaps later or maybe even another day there's like an actual full-on performance.
Gotcha. Yeah, she would be familiar with those types of events.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going in?
Are you? You tell me.
I mean, I thought that's what we were doing last time, or did we just approach it?
Last time you approached it and you got close enough to read the sign.
Saw the sign.
Which is a banner actually draped across the side that says the name of the circus, Reverend Skytaker's Shooting Stars.
Okay. Yule is just frozen reading that sign and like gripping the bag that is like over her shoulder and pressing her skirts down. She's just gripping her bag and staring straight up at the sign.
Tedros pats his left hip just to make sure that there's something there.
Still have a gun.
Yes, still a gun. And puts a hand on Yulyanya's shoulder.
She kind of jumps and she says, Reverend Skytaker is sister.
Yeah, I kind of caught on from everything.
Do you think she's here? Do you think the whole troop is here?
I do and don't hope so. I can't imagine there's just another person using the name.
I've waited for so long. I thought I'd be happy. I don't know what to feel right now.
Probably a lot.
What do you think I should do?
I think that at some point, Sister is going to have to answer some questions. She is going to need to explain why she's here and how. And that's going to be a lot.
So we should go in? Yeah, we should go in.
Yeah.
Mule's going to take a deep breath, locking eyes with the sign again, and step forward, peeling back the fabric of the tent, or, if it's open, just walking in.
Okay. Yeah. It's actually, yeah, there is a tent flap closed that you can push your way through, mostly to keep it dark inside, because you would know that like a lot of the performances involve light and darkness and things like that. So you enter into a very familiar sight. There's wooden stands set up around the outside. Again, different ones to the ones that, again, were abandoned in the tundra with you, but the same exact style, like a replica, just a newer replica. Everything you're seeing is basically like the exact same design. Maybe some like the color palette is different, but other than that, it is an exact replica of the design, just newer. You can see the middle of the circus tent is basically a big ring that has been set up, a few inches up off the ground. And then the inside of it is basically just like sand and straw to create like a nice even surface. And then you can see there's the trapeze and the tightrope and everything set up above. And yeah, as you walk in, standing at the front, greeting people, Durbin the juggler, dwarf with a very wide mustache, jolly belly laugh is like, his laughter is very honest, but you can always tell the difference between his performance laugh and his genuine laugh. And this is a performance laugh, as he's standing there juggling basically balls of wool that have been soaked in some kind of flammable, like lightly flammable material, so he can juggle balls of fire. You also see standing over to the side the tall and serious-faced elf Besra, who is currently holding up a mirror in his hand and throwing knives over his shoulder into a target. Up top, you can see Phila and Dilla, the twins, the halfling twins, are up, just kind of doing like they're just kind of up in the ropes, just kind of like both like spinning around slowly next the rings, those big like rings that hang down.
Rings, yeah.
Yeah, they're like sitting in those and just kind of spinning next to each other. And then you can see Zelda, the Furbolg strong woman, who is off to one side with her one long braid that hangs down her back. That she is just off to one side, just like there's just a bench with like a couple of nobles on it that she's just like lifting up and down above her head, and they're all just like chortling with excitement. And yeah, as the two of you walk in the front, Durbin is the first one. He's like the one greeting everybody. He's like, oh, hello. And his face just falls, and you can see just one by one as all of them are watching.
Well, very quickly,
mm-hmm.
The first thing Yule would do, seeing that it is them,
mm-hmm.
is very quickly drop the bag and sit it behind her.
Okay.
And she's going to ask Tedros, can you hide this?
Yeah, Tedros will take it essentially as though it's his bag, and sling it over his shoulder, and he'll give her a little squeeze on the shoulder while he says a short prayer, and will cast guidance on her.
Okay.
So you can add a d4 to your one of your skill checks. I'm sure there will be one.
The pyramid, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Great.
Yeah. You can see Durbin, as soon as you see him, he is, and they don't notice you like do the bag switch, because immediately it's like he sees you and then like looks over at like Zelda, and Zelda looks up at the twins, and the twins look down at Besra. Like they're all just kind of looking at each other, just dumbfounded, absolutely, just like, oh, there's just a general vibe of, oh shit.
Yule is just going to take a few steps forward
Mm-hmm.
and then immediately drop into a curtsy.
And he's stopped juggling, like he caught the two, like he catches them. There's like a little bit of a bounce, and you can see this Durbin never fucks up a juggle, but he almost drops one of the balls, and he like there's a second where he holds on to them, they're still burning, and you know that the liquid they use to burn those is like basically like isopropyl alcohol, like it doesn't burn very hot. But even then, like even still, if you hold on to it for too long, it does start to get hard. So there's a second where he just like stops and stares at you in your curtsy before going like, ah, and like shaking them to like put them out. And he doesn't know what to say. He is just,
Durbin?
yes, yes, hello.
She's gonna stand up and approach him.
Yeah, he's standing like up on one of those like little like cylindrical platforms with like stars painted around the outside, just a little, especially because he's a dwarf, it helps him get up above the crowd. But yeah, so you can get up in front of him while he's looking down at you.
Where have you been?
And you can see as you're asking him this, and he's stopping, and you can see like since all the performers have stopped, all of the nobles in the room, all of their attention has also turned in this direction, since like what was entertaining them has clearly become distracted, been interrupted. Yeah, so they're all like, oh, what's going on over here? So you have just the general attention of the entire tent, and he says, perhaps we should speak out back.
She just feebly nods.
Mm-hmm. He's going to he hops down off of his little platform, and he looks up at the twins and just like jerks his head in the direction of the front area here, and then he gets down to start walking you towards where you would know is like a back tent flap that leads out into like your kind of performance
she's gonna
area.
look back to Tedros and give him a look and let him know that she's gonna go back with them for a second.
Right. Yeah, so he leads you out towards the back. Tedros, you can see the twins kind of like make their way down like the ropes and everything down to ground level, where the two of them make their way over. Like one of them rolls another cylinder up to the front, so there's two of them, and then they start like doing like they both go up into a handstand on the front of it, and like as soon as Durbin and Yulyanya make their way out the back, it's all smiles again. Everyone, like, you can tell there's a fragile quality to it, but like it's like, all right, performance is back on, everybody, hey. And they're like, right. So the twins are like doing handstands, like greeting everybody, and like doing one-handed handstands to wave, or like waving with their feet to like, you know, entertain everybody as they come in. Are you Tedros, are you standing like in the main area? Do you find a seat? What are you doing while you will do
he decides for the time being to go and find a seat to try and not, stir up too much attention, because clearly that's already been done.
Okay.
So he will pop a squat somewhere. Perhaps he will I think. Yeah, no, he won't sit by himself. He'll sit like closer to where some of the other nobles may have sat down.
Okay. You gonna try and eavesdrop, or are you just gonna?
Yeah, he'll
okay. We'll come back to your eavesdropping in a second here. So Yulyanya, you brought out the back to basically like the performers area, like where they go in between, where you would usually hang out in, like when you weren't performing. Yeah. There's the wagons and everything that you usually bring are over there as well. The wagons are the wagons you'd be familiar with. The tent and there was the tent and the performance and stuff was left, but if I remember correctly, the wagons and everything else was gone.
Yeah.
So it's the wagons, it's the animals, you're familiar with everything. You can see standing off to the side, because you showed up about mid-afternoon, so like off to the side you can see Gareth the cook The hobgoblin cook, just like standing there off to the side, just like scrubbing out the inside of a big pot that he probably used to make lunch, just whistling to himself. And you can see just the signs of life of the troop just scattered around. And Durbin's just says, so hey, Yule, how have you been?
I've been worried sick.
Yeah, well, we've been worried about you too. We got separated in that storm.
But what happened? I mean, you just disappeared?
We could have sworn you were right behind us. We were under attack, so we had to get out of there.
What do you mean? Get out of there? You just it wasn't like you left. It was like you were just gone.
Well, I mean, he just kind of half-heartedly gestures towards the tent, like, we know how to move quick, acrobats and all that. So, I'm sure it seemed like we just disappeared with the storm and everything around.
I thought you'd been attacked. I thought.
Well, we were. You saw the attack and everything. We were attacked. That's why we had to run. That's why we had to get out of there so quickly.
By who? I don't understand what came for us. I thought I did. I've fought monster after monster, thinking that I would come across the one that got you. What? So where have you been all this time?
Well, on the road. We got the just the looks of judgment from the other two over here. We got the traveling. Not a lot of places to perform between down south and here, but we got word that this noble fella here was looking for performers for his courtship, and it's a good opportunity. So that's how we found our way here.
All of you?
Yes. You saw everyone inside, right?
Not sister?
Oh, well, I'm sure she's around. She's around here. She's around.
Where? How could I find her? I mean,
by the way, Tedros, I did forget to mention, when, I actually forgot to mention something you would have seen inside, which was, as the performance started up again, the knife thrower actually would have, stopped, ended his performance, done a bow, and then calmly walked off stage. But since you're watching and paying attention, you would have seen him, as soon as he was off stage and, out of, the spotlight, basically, just start running, as if he's going to find somebody.
Okay, that's important, because if he was going to go find her, I was going to go find him.
Okay. He's not going in the direction of Yule. He's going back the way you guys.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I'm assuming he's going to Reverence, and I would like to talk to him.
Okay, so you're following.
Yeah, I just want to talk.
So you're following after him.
Mm-hmm. I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Durbin is doing his best to explain, to talk. Yeah, she's around. She's around here somewhere. I'm sure. She does events like this. She goes and shakes hands and makes contacts for us. So we can find more jobs in the future. Rich people like this love to hire us to perform at their parties. There's a lot of them here.
So, if I walk around, I might find her?
Yeah, I mean, if you wait here, you'll probably find her sooner than later, I would imagine.
Okay.
Here, you hungry? Have you eaten yet?
No, I haven't.
Here.
I haven't eaten yet.
All right, let's see if Gareth has any leftovers for you. Come on, let's get you something to eat. And he's gonna take you over
She'll
towards.
nod and follow him, just with this like numb expression on her face.
Mm-hmm. All right. While you're doing that, so Tedros, you exit out of the tent, and try to keep an eye on the knife thrower, Besra. All right. Go ahead and give me a perception check to keep track, because Besra does get out a little bit faster than you, and it's a crowded area, so you do need to make sure you can spot him.
Haha, I remember this time. It is 15.
Okay. Yes, you can successfully track Besra through the crowd. He's fairly tall, so you can spot him pretty easily. Long, dark, straight hair, so you can just see that head just like moving through the crowd and follow him. Where you can see that he gets to a pair of women, actually. Jora, would you care to describe what one of them looks like, actually?
The one that I think?
You know who it is.
Well, there is a woman with like pale blue skin and long, like jet black hair. She is a tiefling, so horns and a tail. And she carries herself in this way that you just know she is in charge. She's the type of person that you don't want to upset. And that's roundabout all you would get from a distance.
Okay. Standing next to her, you definitely get that sense. I'm actually going to amend one thing. You definitely get that sense of not a person to mess with. But at this current moment, with the person she's talking to, she does not actually give the bearing of someone in charge. She has just body language and looking at her. There is a sense in her body language of deference to the woman that she's talking to. The woman she's talking to is a very tall woman with long red hair that is all put together into one very thick braid. Kind of creates almost like a pompadour look on top before trailing down her back, as well as a pair of yellow tinted glasses that cover her eyes, just round spectacles, and wearing, in the style of Titan's Grave, a like the same kind of like suit that Monty is wearing, but not as much of the frilly and ascot and like the neck thing. A little bit more of a muted version. And she generally just kind of gives the impression of owning the place. Not like she actually does, but like, that kind of look. And let's see, am I forgetting anything else? Hair is blood red, very sharp features, pale skin. And her nails are painted solid black and filed into points as well. And she is sitting there just casually holding a glass of champagne and speaking to Reverence when Besra makes his way over and immediately starts saying something urgently to the two of them. As you're still making your way over and kind of catching up, you can see Reverence immediately goes like, oh shit face. Kind of, yeah. Reverence immediately goes just like the paler blue, and just like her face drops. The woman she's talking to, on the other hand, just her face lights up. She just seems so amused by what was just said to her, and then just kind of turns to Reverence and just gestures back in that direction, and Reverence just nods and starts making her way back with Bessra. Both kind of then coming in your direction because they're coming back to where you came from.
Tedros will do his best not to like show that he has any feelings towards any of these people.
Okay.
Because he doesn't yet, since technically, at least for right now, Yulyanya kind of came in semi-separately from him.
Mm-hmm.
So at least for the moment, he would like to not present himself as a target for their attention.
Okay, so you're just gonna kind of. Okay. Really quick, I will let you pick either a stealth or deception check to
Stealth.
keep that up. Okay.
Stealth. I could be in the circus. I could not be a liar.
I mean, it's like, you're clearly a guest, but it's like this is mostly just to make it look like you're not watching.
Yeah, that's a 14.
Okay. Let me just. All right. Yeah. Bessra and Reverence do not give you a second glance. But the other woman, who is following behind them more slowly, no urgency whatsoever, but is following behind them with just that interested look, does just kind of narrow her eyes a little bit, and then just turns and looks in your direction and just makes eye contact with you. Smiles a little bit more, and then keeps following after the two of them. So yeah,
Just keep patting my hip.
just still packing heat.
I am just trying to make sure that I finish this project I've been working on. Real quick, I got this fun project. Just want to. Couple people. I just want to talk to a couple people. Is all. So as soon as I
do you take constructive criticism?
Please.
Maybe an S after want.
People Tedros want to talk to.
Yeah.
Look. Worded just like that.
Oh, okay.
I thought the constructive criticism was going to be that Bessra's with a B.
Oh wait, yeah. Did I miss that?
That's more constructive. Yeah.
Yeah, excellent.
See,
I
you're
wasn't actually
too
looking
busy
at this
criticizing to
Uh-huh.
be constructive.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
I am super suspicious. Tedros has better wisdom than I do, so he's probably even more suspicious. He
Okay.
has no specific answers about any. He doesn't know. He just knows what we all know, which is that these people who are supposed to be dead or in danger or doing something else are literally hanging around. So
Mm-hmm.
he's just
And they're weird.
they're carnies. That's part of the territory.
Mm-hmm.
What? They're literally carnies.
Yeah. They're circus folk.
I don't know why that got me.
It's true.
Yeah. There were some weird carnies in my town where I grew up.
Like half of like trying to figure out Yule is figuring out how much of it is like weird like valley stuff and how much of it is like weird carny stuff.
How much is just because she's a circus person?
We're gonna find out today.
Yeah.
But he just kind of allows them to go by.
Okay.
And gives it like maybe like a 3 count, and then he will start following more slowly, but following in the same direction that they're going.
Okay. Yeah, you can follow after. So here's the question: Are you trying to follow a 3 count after Bessra and Reverence, or a 3 count after the other woman?
After the other one.
Okay, so you're walking fairly slow then, because she is taking her sweet ass time.
Got it. Yeah.
She does not seem to be in any kind of hurry whatsoever. She knows where she's going. She's clearly following their path, even if they're out of sight, but she is not hurrying to keep up.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So you're trying to stay behind her still?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Yule, you're over hanging out, and Durbin is like, "Here, look, cabbage rolls, your favorites." And he like pulls out like he's got like some recently boiled cabbage and like some filling that goes in it and stuff, and like,
Where's
look,
Gareth?
He's right over there. At this point, you saw Gareth when you were coming in. He was washing dishes, so he just, huh? Oh, he recovers better than everybody else, actually. Just, afternoon to you, Yule. Good to see you.
Hi, Gareth. You've been well, I see.
Yeah, as well as I can be. Life does go on.
I see that.
We were looking for you after that attack.
Where?
Well, we got a good ways away. We assumed you would run with us.
But how could I have run with you? I was up in the silks.
Oh, is that where you were?
That's where I perform.
Well, you perform all over the place. You do all your flipping and jumping and swinging. But I'm never in there watching. I'm always out here getting dinner ready.
I think I need a moment.
Yeah, that's hey, cabbage roll, right?
She's just gonna drop the cabbage roll she's been handed and walk away.
Okay. As you go to walk away, the back of the tent just bursts open, just hurled aside, and you can see Besra standing behind Reverence, who is just heaving breaths as if she has just been sprinting. Tedros knows she hasn't, but you don't necessarily know that. She's breathing as though she's just been sprinting, and her eyes she whirls around, looking around before finally locking her eyes onto you, and she just kind of freezes.
Yule will drop to a curtsy.
And she is going to just so you dropped your curtsy, the one where you look at the floor.
It's one where she essentially puts one leg behind the other and drops to where her knees are on the floor and her forehead is almost touching the ground as well.
Okay, so you're looking at the ground then, as you just hear in the grass just, and then just as she just suddenly you find herself just pulled upward, back upright, as she literally lifts you off your feet into a very tight hug and says, oh you silly little cabbage, what are you doing here?
I was looking for you. Where?
How did you find us all the way over here? How did you get here?
How did you get here? I thought you were hurt or worse. You disappeared.
She just there's another tight squeeze before she just sets you down, kind of just kneels down to get more on your eye level, and you can see that you can see just they haven't quite started falling yet, but definitely tears welling up in her eyes. And she's just got her hands up on your shoulders. It's we were safe. We were safe. I thought you were safe. I thought you were there, and I thought you were safe.
I wasn't. But I am now. I made friends.
Real quick, please make me an insight check when you say I am now.
Do I get guidance on that?
Guidance only lasts for a minute, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
How long does it last?
10. Let me double check.
Okay, that'll make a
Maybe
difference.
longer than that, though. I get it.
Probably you're coming up on close, but this will I'll count if it's 10 minutes. I'll count it as
Oh no, you're right. It is 1 minute.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you're past a minute.
Okay. Insight, I only got 10.
Okay. There's a weird, slight shift in her expression when you say "I'm safe." I'm safe now, but like, and when you notice there's a slight shift, but then when you say like "I've made friends," she kind of like shifts back. It's almost like there was a misunderstanding, is what you were referring to. And you say "I've made friends," then it's a little bit more relief. And she says, "You've made friends. Are they here?"
One of my friends, Monty, he helped me clean up the wreckage, and he helped me get here. This is where he's from. I'm actually here to help him, but I'm very excited that you guys are here too. I'm just really confused.
People at the down south, they didn't take care of you, didn't take you in?
What people?
The people in the town down there outside where the circus,
In
where we set up.
Circus?
Yes.
No, that town was. Oh God, there was a tower, and there was a sacrifice. I don't understand everything, but I almost got human sacrificed.
It was a sacrifice. She just immediately like pulls you into another hug again. Just as she does, she's just shaking her head.
And I fought a danger kitty, and I fought a dragon, and I fought all sorts of things. But I'm strong now, and I can fight things.
She once again, as you say all that, pulls you back out to arm's length and says, "Yes, but you shouldn't have to."
Well, I didn't have you.
You're supposed to be safe. And about at that time, Tedros, you have been following this other woman. She's made her way into the tent, made her way around, and made her way out the back. And as she does, she just gently parts the tent and walks out. And Yule, when you look up over Reverence's shoulder, you just see this woman standing there, just glass in hand, about half full of champagne, just watching the two of you. Like I said, like long red hair, dressed in the same kind of style as Monty, but just less extravagant looking. Those long pointed nails, just kind of, and she's kind of like, just kind of like tapping them on the glass. And then after a second,
someone new come in, especially seeing someone who seems like they're dressed in like noble-ish Titan's Grave attire, she would like step away from Reverence, remembering her training at all times, and curtsy for the new person who walked in, not as deeply as she did for Reverence, but still a good one.
Reverence is going to like look confused a second, and the woman is going to say, "Well, who might you be?"
I'm Yulyanya Skybringer.
That's Yulyanya Skybringer. And as she says that, her eyes drift over to Reverence, and she says, "And how do you know the troop?"
I'm part of it.
Smile grows wide as you say that, and you can see Reverence is still facing the direction she was facing, so she's still facing you, you stepped up from the side of her. You can see she's staring just straight ahead, just kind of at the ground, just eyes wide, just like, and then she stands up, straightens her outfit, and turns around, and you can see her just compose herself. And she said, and the woman turns and says, "Reverence, why didn't you tell me that we had a new member of the troupe?
I've been in the troupe for a long time. I just went missing.
You've been in the troupe a long time. And you see, you can. Are you looking at Reverence at all, or are you just looking at this woman?
She's just looking at this woman.
Okay, all right. Yeah, and she again glances up to Reverence. She's been in the
If
troupe.
she looks at Reverence, then she would look at Reverence.
Okay. By the time you look up at her, any reaction to what you said has already passed, and she's back to her composed state. I'll let you make another insight check, though.
Okay. Should be using these ones. I don't even feel like reading it out.
All right. Okay, fair. She says, "Been in the troupe a long time, Reverence, and you never told me. It must have slipped my mind to mention." And the woman.
Well, it's been a very long time since I've been in the troupe. To be fair, I wouldn't blame Reverence for not mentioning me. I'm not important.
"Oh, my dear," and she like sets the glass of champagne down like on a barrel or something, and she steps closer. "Everyone in my circus is important."
Your circus?
Why, yes. Certainly, Reverence's name is on the banner, but who do you think pays for everything, makes your contacts, gets you jobs like this one, she says, just kind of gesturing back at the tent in the island.
I thought Reverence did that.
Well, she certainly does her part, but I am the circus's, and she searches for a word for a moment before saying, patron.
A patron?
Oh, fuck.
I've been looking for a patron.
Have you now? And she just looks delighted.
Oh, no.
Where's Tedros?
Where
Good
am
question.
I? I was having a conversation by the tent with Bobby Reed, and all this is going down.
You're the Bobby. No, you were like in the middle of the island. You're like way over back in the yard, the lawn area. Yep. You're doing your own stuff. We'll get back to you. We'll get to you. Tedros is in the circus tent at this point. The question is, do you want to try and like make your way into that back area?
If possible, he wouldn't have gone through the tent. Once he saw that they were going in, he would have like walked around the perimeter.
So it's set up in a way. The tent is huge.
Oh, is it like okay?
And
Is it like it's in the center sort of thing?
It's not like it's in the center. It's more like the tent is actually on the southern end of the island. The island kind of tapers to almost to a point. So the tent kind of the island is narrow enough at this point that the tent kind of goes like almost like one side to the other. And kind of like occupies just the end of the island. So you pretty much have to go through it. Otherwise you'd be like cramming yourself up between like the edge of the tent and the bushes to try and like shuffle your way through.
Then yeah, he would have gone through the back.
Okay. Or would you like to do so stealthily or like subtly, or are you just barging through?
He will attempt to be subtle about it. Yes.
Okay. Deception or stealth?
For this, it'll be stealth.
Okay.
Definitely not gonna be like, yeah, I'm just I'm part of it. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding? It's a 17.
Okay. Yeah, you can basically just like mingle with the crowd and everything, blend in with them, subtly make your way over to the tent flap, and then when no one is looking, you can just turn and just dash through. So yeah, you come out and you can see Reverence and Yule standing next to each other, and this woman is looking at Yule like what?
Snack?
Yeah. It just big old toothy grin. And she says, "Yes, I am the circus's patron. You said you've been looking for a patron," is what you hear when you come out.
I think the Lady Stanway is a fantastic patron for us, in fact.
Oh, yes. I keep forgetting that she said that she would be our patron.
And she turns stiffly around to Tedros, and she sees you. There's a look of recognition. And she says, "Ah, are you an unknown member of my circus as well, or someone else?"
Your circus, does that make you Reverence?
No, Reverence is over there. I'm the owner. The patron, if you will.
I see. And who might I owe this conversation to?
She just clears her throat. And Reverence, in a way that you've never really seen her react this kind of I don't want to say obediently, but that is kind of what the vibe is. Says, "If I may introduce, and the owner and patron of the Shooting Stars, Lady Shasa."
Yule will get into another curtsy in a very confused manner.
Can Tedros tell, he's expecting that, they are very much okay, well, shit, we didn't expect to see Yule show up here.
Yeah.
But beyond that, can he tell, how people are reacting to this conversation?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check. Because you can see Durbin and Gareth, the Hobgoblin, are both also still back here watching. And you can see Reverence as well.
If I am correct, that is almost... Please let it be what I think it is. Oh, beautiful. That is a 25.
25?
That's a 25.
Very nice. Okay. So, you get a lot of information that Yule doesn't. Durbin and Gareth are both trying to look busy, but are very specifically watching what's happening here, and out of the corner of their eye, also not trying to draw too much attention to themselves. And you can tell, based on just reactions during the conversation, where they're looking and where they're not, that both of them are not only trying not to draw attention to themselves, they're specifically not trying to draw the attention of their patron. And you can also tell from Reverence's reaction, she's very good at maintaining composure and controlling her expressions, but a 25 is a 25. And there is a whole cocktail of emotions going on for her right now. A combination of fear and anger keep threatening to push onto her face every time that woman talks to, addresses, or otherwise even looks in the direction of Yule. And you can tell that her reactions to Yule, there's a sense of relief when she's looking at Yule, but also intense anxiety and fear.
Okay. And does he get anything except for what big teeth you have sort of vibes from Lady Shasa?
Just really quick.
I have a class feature that can detect that stuff.
Here's what you get. With a 25, not a damn thing.
Word? Okay. All right. All right. Cool. All right.
Yeah, that's bad.
That is fucking terrible, actually. That is the worst. All right, cool. Well, Lady Shasa, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, as well as the acquaintance of everybody here in Yulyanya's former troupe.
Former?
Yule's just frozen. She has no idea where he's going with this.
she hasn't been with the troop for quite some time. She's been with us, and obviously it's her decision if she'd like to rejoin. But
she just sort of stands there and thinks for a second, eyes narrowing, looking back and forth between Reverence and Yule. And then she says, Reverence, she's not... You didn't mention her as a member of the circus. Because she never officially signed up to be part of the circus, did she? And Reverence says, stiffly, no, the paperwork must have slipped my mind.
Well,
See.
I didn't get paid.
That's right, she didn't get paid. She was,
I was
she wasn't paid.
learning.
Yes, she was learning. A student of the circus arts, but never signed up to be a member. And Lady Shas is just smiling at her, just like, is that so? Well, if she never signed up, then I suppose she wasn't worth mentioning as one of my members. Here I thought you were trying to skim a little more pay off the top by not mentioning an additional member. But I suppose you did everything above board, technically.
You have, if I may speak, a wonderful troupe, and they taught me amazing things. And I'm sorry that I was there when I shouldn't have been. I didn't know it was yours.
Oh, no, dear. No fault of yours at all. No fault of yours at all, she says, just glancing over at Reverence.
You can tell that she's done bad things in this conversation, but she doesn't know which ones.
Well, if that's the case, and you are a former member of the troupe, I regret to inform both of you, she says to Yule, and then turns back to Tedros, because she's still staying between the two of you, that this area is for performers only, so if you are not a member of the troupe, I am going to have to ask you to leave.
Well, I was hoping that maybe I could perform at this event. I didn't know that there would already be a circus. I didn't know that there would already be my circus, or your circus. So would it be a problem if I performed? I promise you won't regret it. It's beautiful.
She opens her mouth to say something, and Reverence actually just blurts out, no, that's quite all right. That's all right, Yule. I think she's quite right. If you're not a member of this troupe, then I think the two of you should go.
Yeah.
Okay. I understand. And she'll walk back towards Tedros and then give Reverence a look. Just confused.
She is staring contest staring at Lady Shasa. The two of them do not break eye contact. And you can see that she wants to look at you as you look back at her. She can see you out of the corner of her eye, but she does not break and does not look in your direction.
Yule will just grab Tedros by the hand and start walking back toward the tent flap.
Tedros will actually put his arm around Yule's shoulders, and he will look back at the two of them and say, Lady Shasa, Reverence, and he will escort her out.
Okay.
By the time the flap closes behind them, tears are just like pouring down her cheeks, like she's just been holding it in this whole time.
Quick question. Oh wait, hold on. No, I have this myself.
No. No. I'm not there.
No?
No.
Mm-hmm.
That reeks of contract shit.
You know. Okay, she will. As you turn to go, as you say goodbye to the two of them, the Lady Shasa will. It's almost like you can. It's almost there's a brief moment where it's almost like there's just a quick glint off of her glasses, like the sun catches them, and there's just almost like a flash. She looks in your direction, and as you say goodbye to her, she sort of just slightly inclines her head in the barest hint of a bow, before saying, "A pleasure to meet you as well, Mr. Kahini."
Yeah. Yep. I'm just schmoozing.
Yep.
Okay. He does not. He does his best to not let that, he hears that,
Mm-hmm.
but he's like, okay, I have a Yule right now. That's more important.
Good thing I'm not there, because I'd be like, hey. Oh, man.
So yeah, Yule's just a bucket of tears.
Okay. Yeah. You walk back out. As you leave, also, Durbin and Gareth are gone. They have made themselves scarce, and they just snuck out of that area. They may have actually just sidled through the bushes to just get away from that vicinity, while those two are back there still staring at each other.
Yikes.
So yeah, that's all right. So you two walk back out into the circus. Are you going anywhere in particular, or?
Tedros is going to try and guide Yule to some unoccupied space.
Okay.
Places, if possible, where people aren't looking too much. Or...
Okay. You would have to walk a little bit, but you could make your way to the gardens or the hedge maze to find some privacy, basically.
He will go with the gardens.
Okay. A little less like privacy, but it is more spread out, and you can get a good distance from people. Okay. While you're doing that, Montblanc, you are back talking to Bobby out on the lawn, just having a good time. There's no creepy ladies with a weird relationship with Yule's sister hanging out.
I don't know about a possible devil/fake carnival anywhere. I'm good.
No idea what you're talking about.
I think we ended the conversation last session.
Pretty much, yeah. You were still kind of standing next to her, but you pretty much had completed a conversation. So you can if you have anything else you wanted to say, you can. Otherwise, you can politely say your goodbyes and make your way somewhere else.
We'll enjoy the rest of the soiree.
Thank you for that, and thank you, she says, just a bit more significantly.
Nah, it's fine. No need. And I'll wander off to find people who look a little more important.
Okay. Which direction? Where are you looking? You've got the gardens, the hedge maze, the lawn, over near the tent, and then the kind of fountains area up by the house.
Okay. I assume this is happening at the same time as the stuff in the tent is? Okay. Okay. Because it's not like I just stood here for okay. Hedge maze. Okay.
So you are heading over to the hedge maze. All right. Let's see. Who do you see over at the hedge maze? Oh, I know who you see over at the hedge maze. You make your way over, and you're just kind of keeping an eye out for people in general. All right. You see someone you actually don't recognize.
Oh, perfect.
Wearing a captain's uniform.
Oh, even better.
So basically a captain who was appointed since you've left, since you've been in the Navy. This is a let's see. Where did I put him? Why can I? Oh, there he is. Wrong page. He's a human. He's a good-looking guy. And like kind of like looks. He's relatively young. Looks like he would have probably just been appointed captain fairly recently. And he is basically you've made your way a little bit into the hedge maze, not too far, but you're in there. He is backed into a corner by what can only be described as a mob of older women.
Does he seem uncomfortable?
Make me an insight check.
16.
Okay. Yes, very, but also doing his best to be polite.
Okay. I'll approach.
Okay. As you approach, you can hear one of them. You can hear them talking, and he is not speaking. It's all of these women around him, and one of them is talking, and is just like, "Oh, my Henrietta has just come of age, and she plays a lovely piano." And then another one just practically shoves the other one out of the way. He's like, "My Marietta is the most wonderful cross stitch. You would love her. She's fantastic." And then like another one comes in.
I don't mean to interrupt.
Yeah, they're all basically like clamoring to try and like marry off their daughters.
I don't mean to interrupt this delightful conversation I'm sure you're having, but someone saw a snake, a big snake here in the hedge maze, and it's coming this way. They say it's venomous, so I just kind of thought I'd bring a warning along in case anybody wants to get out and not get bit. You know what I mean?
He is going to, as soon as you say that, speak up and say, yes, I heard that several venomous sea snakes had made their way on land recently, and we don't, of course, we wouldn't want to, offend our host by assuming that he has poor pest control abilities, but perhaps a more populated area would be a better place to reconvene. He says, just kind of like playing into your lie, and all of them are just like, oh, it has snakes. Oh, good heaven. We'll see. We'll meet up with you later. Yes, dinner. How about a dance? And just like they all just like start making their way away, just like looking at the ground, but also like constantly just practically hucking offers of their daughters at him.
Wish
as
I had
they
an illusion
leave.
spell.
Yeah.
And after they kind of clear out. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. As they clear out, he's just kind of.
You good?
Yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I can tell you look a little uncomfortable.
Yes, quite so. They, Dieter is Captain von Stark is the, of course, bachelor of the season, but, it appears that I am the runner-up for every mother who does not have confidence that they would be able to, their daughter to be able to bag the captain of the Orchid.
Yep. Well, recognize the uniform, so I thought, oh, this person looks like they could use some assistance and,
Yes.
Everything else.
Still a little, getting used to the uniform a little bit.
Oh, you brand new appointment then?
Not brand new, I've been here for a little bit. I'm terribly sorry. Where are my manners, especially for my rescuer? He, like, traditional Titan's Grave bow, like, arm behind, one arm behind in front, one arm behind the back, bows in front of his head and says,
I'll do the same.
Captain Theodore Eastburn of the Violet.
Good to meet you, Montblanc Montblanc of Tiburon.
I've sailed in the waters of Tiburon before, but never made land there.
It's an interesting place. A lot of scary stories involving the Countess, governess.
Yes. Well, are they just stories, or is there more to them?
Not a clue. It would be kind of fun if they were, but a lot of stories, a lot of myths. been hearing a lot of stories about this place too, so I thought it was high time to kind of visit, come to this soiree, sort of, you know, enjoy myself for once.
Well, if this is the sort of thing you enjoy, then Captain Von Stark has put together a lovely party.
Do you enjoy this kind of thing?
He just kind of peeks down, like, towards the corner. All of those mothers disappeared around. He says, usually a bit more when I don't feel like I'm being put up for auction at market.
Yeah, that's understandable. My uncle used to serve in the Navy.
Oh.
Yeah.
See. Oh.
But
nice to meet you then.
Yeah.
Do you know what ship he served on?
Not exactly. He didn't really regale us with too many stories, but he passed away before I was before I kind of developed a memory of sorts. So just through stories.
Too young to remember.
Never told me the ship he served on, but that it was lost at sea.
I see. Well, very sorry to hear for your loss.
Thank you. Does anybody know where, like, man, I'm sort of new to these kind of social situations. I'm a merchant sailor myself.
I see.
Yeah. So I'm still trying to kind of fit in. I know the bow, obviously, because, you know, I grew up in this region. Any sort of things going on that are the kind of talk of the night, kind of aside from, you know, the obvious?
Well, it depends on what sort of thing interests you. There's, of course, the usual rumors and scandals.
I mean, if you know any.
Well, let's see.
Also, what's their name again? Sorry.
His name is Theodore Eastburn. Captain Theodore Eastburn.
Excellent.
Captain of the Violet. Which, from your memory, the Violet was sort of middling in the rankings of ships.
Okay, cool.
But the fact that many people were trying to marry him off to their daughters may indicate that the Violet has found some greater fortune more recently.
Interesting. You got any, have you heard any fun scandals and whatnot?
Well, let's see. I understand. Well, the last party we were at, Lady Phyllis Jones was recently terribly embarrassed by Lady Willa Burke, and I understand she's most likely seeking some sort of retribution. But that is understandable. I also understand that Lady Shirley Tilcott's sister was set to marry Lord Aloysius Fitzsimmons, but he broke off the engagement, though. What?
I was gonna write all this down. Like, never mind.
Anyway. But he broke off the engagement for some reason. She certainly would love to know why, but doesn't know what.
Oh, I don't know. I was chuckling to myself. I was gonna make a joke, but I don't know if people are into that kind of thing here.
You should probably be careful. I have a bit more of a sense of humor than most, but it would be wise to be careful, especially about these things. Lady Tilcott is quite out for blood.
Who isn't nowadays, it feels like. I have a fun rumor.
Oh, yes. What's that?
I don't know if... I doubt there's any credence to it, but I remember we were doing a merchant sailing from, just around Tiburon, visiting the islands, and someone in a tavern, some drunk, kept talking about how he saw scarlet skin carvers taking up mantles on the Navy and wearing the uniform.
Well, that would be quite the grave accusation indeed.
Yeah.
We don't take scarlet skin carvers lightly.
No, we don't.
Here. I'm sure you know.
100%. Yep. I doubt there's any truth to it, though, Rat.
I would certainly hope there's none. That'd be... Can you imagine?
I think I can, yeah. That'd be not great.
Indeed. Only other rumor I have is about Captain Rainway. You know Captain Rainway.
I know
Captain Rainway was old when you were... Captain Rainway is one of those captains who's like, Captain Rainway was old when your dad was in the Navy.
Okay.
He is the oldest captain. He is the captain of the Ranunculus.
Wow.
Which is... The Ranunculus is another name for the buttercup.
Yep.
Flower.
Surprise, all the ships are named after flowers.
Yeah. Captain Phoenix Rainway fucking hates it when people call his ship the Buttercup. He insists on the Ranunculus. But Captain Rainway, I believe, is
too much like homunculus.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's a good name, but it's the name he insists on.
It's not
he is convinced that Lord Skid was responsible for starting rumors about him getting weak in command in his old age.
Has he, though?
I have not had occasion to observe my colleague, but from what I understand, he is as... May I speak candidly among you?
Of course.
He is as much of a hard ass as ever.
That fits the bill.
Indeed. But he does not take slights to his reputation like that lightly.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Is Captain Rainway here?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, he is. When I say you know him, I mean you know of him.
Oh, I know of him.
But,
okay.
Yes. You may have met him once or twice, but briefly.
Yeah. I also saw a weird carnival tent. Don't know what that's about.
Oh, yeah. And Stark has hired a circus to entertain everyone. Interesting choice, I suppose, but it seems to be going well. People seem to be enjoying the entertainment.
Anything interesting about said thing? You know,
I haven't had a chance to observe it myself.
I don't blame you. Kind of creepy, those kind of things.
I don't have anything against the form of entertainment itself, but
well,
I more just sitting in an enclosed tent in my current circumstance, such as that you found me, would be unfortunate. I made my way in here to hide, but one of them did find me.
If you want, I can cover you while you escape. Sort of, I'll try to, like, lure them away. I assume they're just going to be waiting for you at the entrance.
Would you be so kind?
Yeah, why not? I'm not really doing anything else, so...
Montblanc, was it?
Yep, of Tiburon.
He holds a hand out.
I do the same.
Shakes your hand and says, "You are a good man. If you ever find yourself considering a career switch, and you find yourself in the Navy, Violet is always looking for good sailors."
Duly noted.
Marking down a gratitude for Captain Theodore Eastburn for Montblanc.
Boom. And I
All right.
will leave the maze and attempt to, if the ladies are still.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you can.
Yeah.
They're not like right around the entrance. You can actually see them just spread at like a polite distance, but just like a herd of predatory cats.
Yeah.
Just like stalking, just around at a distance, just watching.
Ladies, I have been given express permission and orders by Captain Theodore Eastburn to entertain you ladies for the day while he prepares to meet with you individually.
Just suddenly they just appear out from nowhere, just from the crowd. They emerge and just surround you. Just, oh, wonderful! Oh, that's fantastic! Oh, my Henrietta! Just all just surrounding you.
Now, what would you ladies like to do for the rest of the afternoon while we wait for Captain Theodore?
Oh well, they just titter around as they're just general and just. One of them finally calls out, just whatever the gentleman would like to do, we would be happy to accompany him.
Well, I do have an interest in the circus, so I mean that could be a little fun, right?
The circus. Yes, the circus sounds lovely. I haven't seen the circus yet. Oh, I've heard it's magnificent. Just general sycophantic agreement.
I will lead this crowd towards
All right.
the circus tent.
Okay. Hilariously, as as Yul and Tedros are coming out into the circus tent itself, with you will just have that whole very tense emotional moment is then met immediately as you're getting to the entrance with Montblanc leading a gaggle of middle-aged to older women just into the circus tent. You know where he found all of these, but he has somehow found a group of older women.
So we see each other?
Probably, yes. You definitely see Montblanc. That is 100% for sure. He is hard to miss right now.
I probably don't see or hear them because it's just like.
Yeah, actually, since you're leading them, they're kind of following around sides of you. None have made their way in front of you right now.
Great. Thank
so
God.
you do have a chance to see them, but you don't hear them.
Okay.
Seeing Monty with this gaggle of women would probably just shock Yul into not crying anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Monty?
Well, he said he was into men.
I thought so.
Nice.
Oh, good for him.
Should we go see what he's doing?
Oh.
No.
I think he's probably got it covered. We should get out of here fully first. We should talk.
Okay.
So they'll just walk subtly past Monty and be looking at him.
Yeah,
okay.
And Tedros will just look at him and at the
just
tent.
1,000-yard stare.
And when he looks at Monty, he'll look back at the tent and be like, and keep going.
I'll take note of it.
Okay. All right. So Montblanc, you
Go into the
arrive
tent.
go into the tent. You get in there. You basically hang out with these ladies and entertain them for a while in the circus tent.
Place is weird. It's too dark. Can't see anything.
You just complain the whole time.
No.
Okay. I mean, you could. It's up to you. I am going to ask for I'll let you pick. I don't think it. Based on remembering your proficiency, I don't think it matters though. Either persuasion or performance check. For entertaining these ladies.
Performance or persuasion?
Yep.
They're both +2.
Okay. Add another +1 for your social standing.
Okay. 14.
Okay. Given that this was already a part of a favor, and also you kind of were able to tie this into Captain Eastburn's reputation, you do manage to they're not super wowed or anything like that,
not.
but you do keep them entertained, and you now I don't know all of their names. I'm gonna be honest.
Perfect.
I don't know all
That's
of these
fair.
women's names, but you have basically made introductions with basically what you get the sense of is these are the mothers of the second most eligible bachelorettes in Titan's Grave. Not the most, but the second, because the most are all going after Dieter. These are the ones who are I know what my daughter can get. It ain't that guy. But we've got a silver medal over here we can go for.
I'll just be like, oh man,
And you do manage to entertain them.
Yeah.
And that's not just like that's like family standing and things like
Yeah.
that. It's not just like they're not just like my daughter ain't good enough for that dude. No, it's like just like where we can reach for here in terms of social hierarchy.
Well, if your daughters are as beautiful as each of you, they've got no issues.
One laughter. Just you have successfully charmed. I will say a couple of things. One, Montblanc has made introductions to a large number of mothers of eligible young ladies at the court. You can do with that what you will. You will recognize them, know them by name. They know you by name. And Montblanc's social standing does go up by 1 to 13.
Someone's got to do it because it's not happening on this side.
You can. You're just starting off at a disadvantage.
It's the personality that's the problem here, I think.
Tedros has a lovely personality, thank you very much.
A lovely personality, but you're also not about to kiss people's butts.
Do we have any fun performances while I'm sitting there?
Yeah, so you do see, it's kind of like I said for when they walked in. It is kind of in almost like open house mode rather than being like a full circus performance, because people want to be able to come and go and not get locked into watching a full like hour-long performance when there could be social happenings going on out on the lawn. So you've got like there's a juggler there who's like juggling balls of fire, and he does a couple of cool tricks. There's a strong woman who is like lifting benches full of nobles and other heavy things and like balancing stuff. You've got 2 halflings like up like walking on the tightrope back and forth up top and like occasionally swinging on the trapeze or spinning in the rings. And then you've got a knife thrower who's just like doing various knife throwing tricks off to one side. So it's kind of like you can look wherever you want and just like observe from a distance. But like there are a lot of people just like kind of hanging out and socializing in the stands as well.
Well, kind of thought this would be scarier.
Scarier? What did you mean?
I don't know. Thought it'd be clowns.
Oh no.
Is there anything else you ladies would like to do? Anything? Are you fine?
Oh, whatever you would like to do. You are getting a sense at this point, like after you have sat in the circus with them for a while, you have kind of exhausted your obligation to them. And they're starting to get antsy, and like some of them are starting to wander off and like go looking for the captain themselves.
I'm gonna go retrieve Captain Theodore, and
oh yes, okay, wonderful, yes. We'll wait here.
I'll bring him back here. Yeah.
Okay.
No intentions of doing so.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
All right. While Monty is entertaining those noble women, what are Tedros and Yulyanya doing?
I think Tedros was leading Yule to a quiet place to talk.
That's right. Yes, you led her over into the gardens. That's right. So you two find your way to the gardens. They're lovely. There are a few fountains, not as many as by the house, but there are a few. There's some nice benches and flowers and things like that. You can actually see that the gardens do actually include several. There's basically just a row, almost like a gallery of sculptures. And the sculptures are all of naval-style ships.
What time of day is it again?
At this point, it's probably like mid-afternoon. But yeah, you can see like a whole like gallery of naval-style ships, each with a flower bed underneath them. And one has like one there's like a ship surrounded by a field of poppies. One there's a different ship surrounded by a field of carnations. One a field of dahlias. One a field of irises, lilies, buttercups, roses, tulips, and then of course the largest display, slightly not like twice as big, like 1.5 times as big as the others, is one surrounded by orchids.
So that was strange.
That's one word for it. Yeah. So that was them.
Yeah, that was my family. Or I thought that was my family.
I think they might be.
I think I did something wrong.
You didn't do anything.
I said things, and I don't think I should have.
What do you think that you said wrong?
Things about being in the circus.
No. That wasn't wrong. You were with them for quite some time.
But I wasn't supposed to be, I don't think. I had no idea that someone else owned the circus. I mean, it's called reverence.
I get the feeling that Lady Shasa would be happy with fewer people knowing about her connection to the circus.
Why?
You know my last name is Kahina. She has no reason to know my last name is Kahina. There's no natural reason for her to know that.
Should we be worried about her?
I'm very worried about her, and now I'm very worried about everybody who's in there as well.
Everybody acted different. Like there was something they weren't telling me.
I have my suspicions, but I don't think... Okay. I don't know how many of the others feel this way, but over time, you've told us a lot about the circus, about your troupe, and I have been wondering. I have not had a favorable depiction of them in my mind because they left you. And I don't know how.
They said they said they thought I was right behind them. They thought I would run too. But I was up in the silks. I couldn't. And they just disappeared so fast. I had no chance.
And I think that that was probably on purpose now. Because I'll tell you, if you were in the silks, I wouldn't have left. Neither would Monty. Neither would the twins, neither would Princess. And I'm kind of getting a feeling that maybe it wasn't up to them.
That didn't hurt.
I know.
They've just been somewhere, just still performing. Reverend thought, she thought I was safe. She said, why didn't the people down south take care of you? Why would the people take care of me?
Because of you.
It doesn't make sense. Reverence never lets me out of her sight.
When she saw you, did it seem like she was upset to see you?
But like in a good way. She seemed the most normal out of everyone. I mean, she seemed scared, which I've never seen before. But
so did the other two who were out there as well. Both of them looked terrified of Lady Shasa.
But she did look like she'd missed me. She hugged me. She barely ever hugs me. She hugged me 3 times.
I'm gonna say something I probably shouldn't say, but I think you need to know. There are things that are not nice. You and I have seen them, we've met them. I don't think that Lady Shasa is just a normal person. I think it's even possible she could be one of those not nice things that we saw. And if she's calling the shots, or if she has some sort of control over them, then
I think I'm gonna be sick.
well, in a way, this is better news than we could have expected. Not better because of how they responded, but better because now you know that they're alive.
Yeah. It is a relief. It is good to know. I do feel better knowing that they are alive and safe. But now I feel like there's something else wrong.
There's something very, very wrong. And I am concerned that there is something a lot darker to whatever this patronage is.
If I could just talk to Reference alone, maybe I could figure it out.
I want you to be the most careful you have ever been when you are around any of these people from now on. Please, because I don't know what influence she has on them.
But I've always trusted Sister.
And I trust your gut. If you think it's okay, if you trust her, then I will trust that. But
Sister,
make sure that you're only talking to her. Make sure that whatever you need to do to keep Lady Shasa away from you, please do that. Do not allow her to be anywhere near you for any longer than you absolutely have to. Please. That woman is dangerous.
when Sister took me away, she made a promise to Papa that she would keep me safe. And I believe her. But I guess she's already broken that promise, hasn't she?
I'm not sure she has.
Tedros,
Yeah.
are you close to your family?
I am the wrong person to ask about my biological family. They are not. They're not nice people.
No?
It's a long story. But
I'd love to hear it sometime.
yeah. I'll tell it at some point.
Well,
But
if your biological family is not good, did you have non-biological family?
let's just say that I had somebody looking out for me. And he taps the holy symbol.
Well, in fairness, my biological family might be cabbages.
You're the best cabbages ever.
I'm a little cabbage today, too.
Yeah.
I was so excited for this party, and now they've just gone and ruined it.
Well, I do not enjoy using certain types of magic. But I do have a spell that could help.
What does it do?
Think of your emotions as like a pot that you put on the fire. And sometimes you fan the flames and put a little bit more wood under there to get the fire to raise up. And sometimes you'll, maybe throw a little cup of water to kind of get it to simmer down. This spell can kind of help your emotions to kind of simmer down and even out. Yeah. Doesn't last long.
You could do that for me?
Of course. And he puts a hand out.
She doesn't know what to do, put her hand out too.
Yeah, so he takes her hand and he puts his hand over it, and he takes a moment to cast Calm Emotions.
Okay.
And he will hold it for the full minute duration.
Okay. So yeah, very much like he described. It is, you feel like, if you feel like a pot boiling over with all the emotions you're having, it is just a lid.
I feel like I took a Xanax.
Kind of, yeah, it's kind of magical Xanax, yeah. It just kind of, it just like, everything just feels a little bit more muted. Not in a bad way. And like, you do just feel calm. There's just serenity to it. There's a little bit of distance from the things that were troubling you for that minute.
Like when you're crying and you are feeling so many emotions and then you cry all of it out and afterward you're just like, I feel good.
Yeah, it's kind of that, but like without the cry, it's just kind of like whoop, and you're just like, oh, all right.
Oh my god, Tedros, thank you.
It only lasts for a minute, though.
Yeah, it's a temporary fix. You should
I think
feel your emotions, but I figured this would probably help give you enough space to.
I'm calming down. And regardless of what we've got going on, we're here for Monty.
Yeah.
Is Monty okay?
Monty
is surrounded by a lot of women.
Yeah, he is. These are older women, which I guess I didn't think women were his type, but I also didn't think older women were his type.
I mean, I'm sure he's not courting them.
Oh, shit, courting. Yeah, of course. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. He's doing a thing, and I actually don't know what he's doing. I think he kind of got the idea I hope he got the idea about keeping an eye out for what was going on in that tent, but we'll catch up to him. I guess the real question is, how spring beanie are you feeling?
Well, I think my plans are a little out the window. I was planning on doing a little performance. I didn't know I'd be overshadowed by a giant circus tent.
To be fair, it's their loss. They're missing their star attraction.
Do you think that maybe they wouldn't notice if I performed in a different area?
I am pretty sure that all of their performances are going to be in that tent, and especially after all that, I think they're all going to be very close to that. So if you wanted to perform in another spot, I don't see why you wouldn't be the standout star you are.
Tedros,
Yes.
that's an amazing idea. I could perform outside at night and light up the actual night sky.
That's a good point, yeah.
I'm feeling a lot more spring beanie.
All right. So let's figure out what you need from me. I will do what I can.
The bag. I should admit. Can you keep it?
Of course.
It's not mine.
Is it hers?
I took it from the wreckage. I didn't know if she would. Didn't know if I'd ever see her again, and I should give it back. I should, but I don't want to.
Hang on to it a little bit longer.
Thanks, Tedros. Shall we go see what is going on in the rest of the party?
Absolutely. I guess the real question is, should I keep escorting you? Or should I kind of give you some space to shine? It's up to you.
Would you escort me to somewhere with some delicious food? And then we can separate from there?
Absolutely. And he puts his elbow out.
And she grabs hold.
And they walk their way to some food. He will sniff his way towards whatever smells good.
Okay.
Yeah, they
actually,
haven't made it like inside anywhere yet, so I'd love to see what's going on.
Okay. As you're leaving the gardens, actually, you nearly bump into a young woman who's on her way in. The reason you nearly bump into her is because she has a book open and is just like reading and walking as she goes, and nearly just collides with you as she comes around a corner. So sorry. Pardon me, both of you. And she like
No problem.
snaps the book shut and like drops into a curtsy.
You'll curtsy back.
She has just kind of like wavy to curly brown hair and a very wide smile. And says, my apologies.
That's all right.
No problem.
You're very pretty.
Thank you very much. You are as well.
Thank you. I'm Yulyanya, Skybringer.
I am Lady Marietta Veer.
Oh, fuck.
You would you may remember from the way back when you read that newsletter, Lady Marietta Veer is apparently the young woman that Dieter has his eye on.
The spring bean.
Wow, your reputation precedes you.
Does it?
In a good way.
Yes, I've heard nothing but amazing things about you.
Wow. I hope I can live up to my reputation.
Well, what are you reading?
Oh, just a silly little book. Nothing important. Would you like to try and catch the cover?
Yes.
Yeah.
Both of you give me perception checks. Like as she basically like subtly sticks it behind her back, but like, you know, in a way of just like, you know, putting her hands behind her back, but like, you know.
How to date a murderer.
That would probably be a much better text for her. That's a 9.
Okay.
I got a 5.
No.
Neither of you were able to catch what she's reading.
Just a silly book? Nothing of interest?
Oh yes, just poetry. Just a book of poetry.
Poetry.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Any particular poems in there that catch your eye?
Not yet. I've just only started it.
Ah.
She was definitely, when you saw her, was halfway through the book, but yeah.
I'm could never really get into it. Although mine were more very flowery language, not quite the same sort of material though. I'm a bigger fan of reading up on a lot of, I guess, older things.
He likes really old things.
Oh.
Like buried in the ground old.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I am being rude. I am Tedros Kahina.
Very nice to meet you. Lady Mary Devere. We've done this. Yes.
Lady Mary, were you going out to the garden to read?
If I found the time, I might also just take some air.
I hope we're not interrupting that.
Oh, no.
Have you been at the party a long time?
Since this morning.
So you've made your way around.
A bit, yes.
What's the most interesting thing to do so far?
Well.
Yeah.
The circus is quite lovely.
Oh, the circus.
We did go to the circus a little bit earlier. Quite an interesting place indeed.
Yes. I'm actually a performer myself, so I quite enjoy seeing the acrobats.
Yes, they're quite lovely, quite good at what they do.
I had been hoping to find out more information about their patron. We did meet earlier, Lady Shasa, I believe.
I've seen her around the party, yes. I don't know terribly much about her.
Well, I'll certainly have to pick her brain and see what she's got upstairs at some point.
All right.
Is there anyone here that you think we should avoid? I apologize if that's a rude question to ask. You just seem like you have such good taste.
No, I don't think there's anyone you should avoid. Insight check.
21.
10.
What was it?
10.
Okay. Tedros, she absolutely can think of someone. Just as soon as you asked, she was caught off guard because she probably almost responded. And just probably almost just said the name she's thinking of, but caught herself.
How is our, speaking of people that we absolutely couldn't manage to avoid, how is our illustrious host doing today?
With the 21 insight check and that follow-up question, I'm going, based on her just pausing fragile smile, he's the one she was thinking of.
I know what I did.
Yeah.
I'm blushing.
Yeah. I haven't actually run into him yet today. I understand he's up by the fountains.
Oh, by the fountains. Does he hang out there often?
I suppose.
All right. Well, I do not want to get you too far out of the mood of enjoying your poetry.
Just
so I don't.
One question before we go, though. As far as interacting with our host, if we wanted to talk to him to thank him for the invitation from our patron, how should we approach that?
I suppose, well, it's his party, so you could just approach him. If you're invited, should be able to speak to him.
All right, thank you. That's very good advice.
I shouldn't keep you any longer. Lovely meeting both of you.
Yes.
Yes.
And if there's anything that we can do for you at any point in time, please don't hesitate.
I will keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you.
And you'll do a small curtsy as they start walking away.
Okay. As you pass by her one more time, I'll give you both perception checks again to see if you can read the cover of the book.
Give me this one. Oh, yes. I think that might it's above what I rolled because I have a bonus, and my bonus, I should know this.
I'm
it's an
cursed with
18.
rolling 8s.
18.
18? Okay. Let's see. That definitely, you see it. Where is it? Okay. There we go. So you catch the title of the book. And that title is Marunan Kaibel's Treatise on Magical Theory.
The lies and deceit.
Interesting.
If you would like to roll a history, you've heard the name Marunan Kaibel before. If you'd like to roll a history check, I can remind you where.
Yes, I will do that.
Okay.
I'm assuming. Oh, okay. Well, that's a number. Good. I do have some training. That's 14.
Okay. You heard that name back in Nelswit, that town you stopped in on your
That's what I
way
thought. Yeah.
to Titan's Grave, when you were talking to the one university student.
Mhm.
Marunan Kaibel is a current expert in magic who is working on a spell. You actually, honestly, you would know, you remember, Marunan Kaibel is working on trying to work out dispel magic, which you could just learn.
Yeah,
but
it's literally a thing that, it's a thing that he can already do.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So yes, but one of the experts in magical theory in the world.
Interesting. Very, very interesting.
Tedros is he's like, oh no, I can't.
What is it?
Feels just whispering in his ear as they're
It's a
walking.
magic book.
A magic book?
Yeah.
Why is she reading a magic book? I thought no one did magic here.
Well, I mean, it's not like what we do, but I just.
Oh. Okay. So she's the one who is.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's so hard. I just.
Should we find food or find Dieter?
Fuck Dieter. Let's get some food. Oh.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
All right.
Okay.
They're gonna go off and get food.
Okay. As you two are going off and getting food, you can Montblanc. You are also coming into this area,
Oh,
so
goody.
you can all three see each other and not. There is no crowds of people, and no one is crying this time, so you can reconvene if you'd like.
Anything interesting?
Monty,
Yeah. A lot
Oh,
of
God.
interesting. Too much interesting.
Found my family. So
Yeah, I
that's
figured
fun.
that much.
They are acting strange. That's two.
Figured that much.
And we met Dieter's girlfriend, and
Where is
she's
she?
studying magic.
She's hiding in the gardens.
Cool. And heads off to the gardens.
Reading.
Studying
Wait.
Nope, heads to the gardens.
Oh, fuck it.
All right.
Follow him or get food. I'm still really hungry.
I am also very hungry.
Go get food.
Probably-
it's
I'm-
fine.
I'm guessing you were already at. I'm going to say you were
Okay.
at the food table loading plates. If you want to follow him with your plates of food,
Yeah,
you can.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
yeah, we're gonna
Okay.
follow him out with our food.
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
And Yule's just eating as she's going, and then remembering that she should be polite in the way that she eats.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a performance check really quick to catch yourself on that
Yikes.
as you walk through this high society crowd.
Oh God. Oh. $12?
Okay. you managed to keep yourself from losing any social standing, as you managed to make it look like you just managed to make it look like you tripped or something, and that's why you were like horking down your food. Then you go a bit more refined to remember your training.
Yeah, Tedros has like the little plate, but he's like power walking up to him. It's like, she doesn't. I don't think she likes him. And she's
Great.
Also reading.
Then let me do this. You two can do what you need to do.
Okay. Also, she might be studying magic.
She's studying magic.
Good to know. All right, I'll handle this. You two just blend
What do
in.
you mean you'll handle this, Monty? What are you going
This
to do?
is my personal thing. Let me handle it, please.
I know it's your personal thing, but are we allowed to ask questions?
Not right now, until I have answers.
Okay. All right. He's got it.
As you, this is my element.
Okay, Monty. Well, then I'm going to go find Dieter.
Anger flushes his face.
We are going to make ourselves an introduction just to make sure that we are observing the standards
Social
of high society.
graces.
Yeah.
We want to thank him for the invitation
All
to the
right.
party.
Just remember, if you're introduced from here with, I'm not from here, from Tiburon.
Oh shit! I did say something about Monty from here, but only to Reverence. Reverence wouldn't remember that.
Was that before or after Shasa showed up, though?
Way before.
Okay, good. Oh, I think the patron...
And she was quite distracted.
Yeah, I think the carnival's patron is evil. So we may have to kill her.
That makes sense.
Pretty sure.
Yeah. Go.
Yeah, if you talk to Dieter, which I really hope you don't.
Let's just not. There are plenty of people we can talk to.
Why not? There's a plan we're trying to follow.
Whatever. And yeah, cool. Yeah. Do what you feel is right.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm just
Be
gonna
safe.
go find. Yeah, you too. And I'm gonna go find this person.
Okay. Yeah. And then what are the other two of you going to do while he's doing that?
We're gonna eat gracefully as
Okay.
we make our way to the fountains.
Okay. So you're going to make your way to the fountain, so we'll get to Montblanc first.
Can I
So
easily
you headed
find where they told me this person was? Because it's
yes.
literally at the same time as they were leaving.
Oh,
So-
yeah. It's like a minute after or something,
Yeah.
but like also you can just like find. They said there was
Yeah.
a young woman reading a book on magic. So like if you walk around, you can find her.
Yeah.
Give me a perception check actually for while you're working. See like how quickly you find her and like.
Sure.
Give me the perception check.
Natural 20 for a 24.
Oh, damn, nice. Okay. All right. You very easily spot her from a good distance away.
Yeah.
Well before she spots you. Which means that when you see her, you can see that she is hidden away in a little corner of the gardens, away from all the other guests.
Yeah.
Hidden from anybody. You managed to like just come around the corner in time to see this. She has this book out in her lap, and she has a candle. She's sitting on a bench. There's a candle lit on the bench next to her.
Mhm.
Looks like she brought with her. The candle is lit, and she is glancing back and forth between the book and the candle, and she's just moving her fingers. And as she does, the flame, you can see the flame in the candle flicker, swirl, and then turn into the shape of a dolphin, rising and falling as if it's breaching out of the water. And you can just see this like almost childlike look of glee and wonder on her face, just unrestrained happiness at this little display of light and magic. and then when she hears footsteps coming, she closes her hand very quickly, and the flame goes back to just being a flame. And she very quick, like someone who's just like, got caught doing something they shouldn't be doing, switches so that she's reading. It looks like she's trying to read by candlelight, despite the fact that the sun is still very much in the sky.
It's all right. You have nothing to hide.
I'm sorry? She looks up and surprised that you're addressing her.
You don't need to hide that. At least for me. It's fine. I won't tell anyone.
Well, hiding what? She says. Clearly trying to play dumb, but then that's one of you just reading her like a book.
Okay, never mind. I don't have any non-hostile spells. You're Lady Veer, yeah?
Yes, Lady Marietta Veer.
The one who's caught in the interest of Dieter von Star.
With a nat 20 perception check still lingering, I will say that you can see that her smile catches.
Yeah.
When you say that, like the biggest thing here, you saw her when she was genuinely happy.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Which means that you can see that the smile she has now, which is the same smile that Tedros and Yulyanya saw, is 100% fabricated. Is a forced smile,
for sure.
And it is even more forced when you mentioned Dieter.
And we're kind of hidden away, so my condolences. Unlike most here, I know who he really is.
Make me a persuasion check.
Oh, fuck! I have +2 to those.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to convince her to trust you.
Only a 16.
Only a 6. That's still good.
Feels bad.
No, that is good.
Don't make me fight you.
It's my nerves. I don't want to fail on anything right now.
Well, 16 is good. 16. You can see like the way it's something about the way you say it, in the tone of your voice, that she feels that she can trust you, and you can see that she just kind of lets out just.
Yeah.
Thank you for your condolences.
How does he treat you, if you don't mind me asking? Does he hurt you?
No. We haven't been. We have had no occasion to be unchaperoned. Up till as of yet, but I have a sense of the kind of person he is, and I, despite my mother's best wishes, would prefer I didn't become his wife.
I served with him on the Orchid before he became captain. I was there during the mutiny.
I thought most everyone
Yeah.
during the mutiny died, or...
Yeah. That's what he said.
Very confused, a look on her face.
He's dangerous. You must have some sort of inkling or knowing that he is.
I've always had a sense. I've never been able to. There's never been anything he's done specifically, but I've always just had a sense there was something off. I can never put my finger on it, but it's just I never feel quite right about him.
I didn't know of it until it was too late. So it's good that you have those feelings and senses. now. Unlike me. I was close to Dieter at one point. On the ship. Yeah. Inseparable, even. And, he orchestrated the mutiny. He was, with the Scarlet Skin Carvers. And, they'd infiltrated some positions on board with his aid, and yeah. And I'm gonna unbutton my shirt and show this the scar where he stabbed me in the gut. That's from him. Nice little parting gift. The last time we saw each other.
He's gonna roll a history check real quick.
Fair.
Given the amount of information you've given her at this point. Die, so
hell yeah.
She there's a quick S sound that escapes before she stops and just double checks around everywhere to make sure you're not being overheard before she whispers, Sullivan Orncroft?
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
Honestly, I don't know. I want to kill him for what he did to me and the captain, the previous captain, and to the rest of the crew, and what he's done to the people, and what he is doing to the people of Titan's Grave. We have evidence of some strange dealings with him and the pirates, and they're currently being looked at by people well versed in the courts, unlike myself. But I came to kill him. He took everything from me, and I want to do the same.
I hope you do.
And as for your secret, it's completely safe with me. Nothing to hide. Does he know?
No. My mother, not that I know of. My mother is hoping that one of the reasons we haven't been without a chaperone is my mother is hoping that he will marry me before he finds out about my ailment.
It's not an ailment.
Oh, not that.
Oh. Apologies.
Well, sort of. I think they're connected. I'm not sure. She reaches up to kind of like one of the straps of her dress, and then just kind of turns so you can see her back, and then just pulls it down a little bit so you can see her shoulder blade, where you can see just kind of a patch that's like on her shoulder blade and continues down her back, out of sight, of just a patch of red scales.
Oh, cool.
Where she pulls it back up and covers it. Had them ever since I was little, but just grown more as I've gotten older.
Is that the source of your...
I don't know, but... And then she turns back to the candle and then waves her hand again, and it the flame just blossoms into like a wireframe image of the circus tent, and just spins around in a circle and just says, but I don't know if it's where it comes from, but I know I can do this, and I know that doing this makes me happy. So, and she looks at the book and says, always wanted to learn more about it, but and she closes her hand and the flame goes back to you. And the flame actually snuffs out. Oh. She says, my mother would have none of it.
I travel with somebody who maybe would help you with that, in a sense. Their name's Tedros.
I just met a Tedros.
I'm aware. If you want...
Yeah, yes.
Go ahead.
Oh, is he from the university?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. But he's very fascinated in things kind of involving dragons.
Is that what? And she reaches back and just kind of touches
that's
her shoulder.
just my assumption. Like I said, I'm not versed in the subject. He is. If you want to be happy and if you want to explore these abilities and this life and, you know, be happy and obviously not be stuck with dickhead.
It's a genuine laugh out of her.
There's most likely room on our ship when we leave. You can come with us.
Run away from home?
Why not? I did.
I have to think about it. I thank you, though. It's a very generous offer.
If you're interested, just find Lady Stanway.
Right, all right, yes.
And stay safe. He's not to be trusted. Just I'll be honest. I just don't want to see someone end up gestures just to himself like me because of him.
Thank you. Thank you.
But there's a room on our ship if you want it.
It's very kind of you.
Well, enjoy the rest of your evening.
You as well.
And he's gonna give like a slight bow and head off back towards Yule and Tedros.
Okay, Yule and Tedros had headed in the fountain direction, right?
Yep.
All right. So you head over to the direction of the fountains, which the center of this is kind of like or a third of the way up the island. This is closer to the house, the manor house itself. In this area, you can see there is a huge, big, like three-tiered ornate fountain that depicts multiple ships all swirling around on like the stone is basically formed into like several tiers that like have ships that are carved to like be on platforms. It looks like they're floating on the water, and there are several ships that are like carved to look like they're being blown to ripped to pieces. There are other ones that are look more like those ones look more like rudimentary, and then there are other ones that look more like Titan's Grave Navy ships that are more intact and are like pointing ballistas at the other ones, and then like where the ballistas are is where the water shoots out and like arcs over onto the other ships, so it looks like they're like trails of shots being fired at them as it forms this fountain. And then over in the over just like in that area, the whole section is paved with just like square white stone paving stones, and then set into the ground at regular intervals are several basically what I described last time as hot tubs. Some kind of natural hot spring, something has been set up and redirected in here to create these just like bubbling pools of hot water. And there's like several square ones going up the sides, and one big long one with a stone seat set into the center of it, almost throne-like under the water. So like someone can sit under the water, but like in basically this big wide chair. And you can see a variety of people hanging out in and around the water, standing to the side and talking. People in the water standing and talking to each other, eating hors d'oeuvres and things like that. And you can see a man, probably in his 30s, sitting in the water, in that throne-like seat, laughing and joking with nobles around him. You get the impression of someone holding court. There is just a flock of people laughing at his jokes and listening to him talk. Jessen, I know Montblanc is not there, but since we did this for Yule, why don't would you care to describe what Dieter von Stark looks like?
Shoulder-length blonde hair.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of the dustings of like a blonde goatee. Curled mustache a little bit. Blue eyes. Last Monty saw him, he was kind of scrawny. And most definitely would have had a Scarlet Skin Carver tattoo, but I guess we'll see. And he came from a poorer region of Titan's Grave, so he was very unkempt in appearance, kind of dirty. But probably not now.
Yeah. Now he has a much more well-trimmed blonde goatee, not just the dustings of it, but a full blonde goatee. He is a bit more. He's put some meat on his bones. He's solid looking though. Definitely looks like he works. Not as solid looking as Monty.
Good.
But like up there. His chest is remarkably, despite what Montblanc said, unmarred. There is no sign of a scar or any sort of marking on his chest. As he is just kind of sitting there in the hot tub, his arms out, laughing with the people around him.
So Yule and Tedros are approaching to that.
Mm-hmm. And you can see other people around too. There's other nobles and people and waiters around. So like that's not all you see, but yeah, he's the center of attention.
Yule.
He thought he'd be alone. I don't know why I thought he'd be alone.
I didn't think he'd be alone. And like as low as he can say it without being heard, he's just like, be very careful.
Of course. Wait. And she'll just like grab his sleeve. What does that mean? I know how to be careful in most situations, but what is careful here?
Same thing, except you don't punch anybody.
I thought you meant with my works.
No, be you.
That didn't work very well earlier.
It worked better than you think. Trust
me. Yule is going to straighten herself up and pat down all of the layers of her little cabbage dress. And she's going to stride up to the hot tub that Dieter is in.
All right.
What are these like? Is it like a square, a circle, a rectangle?
So there's several square ones. This one is like a wide rectangle. That's
Okay,
kind of like
the
walk.
At the top,
yeah, so it's wide this way. He's like in the center.
Okay.
It's kind of like the walkway just kind of goes up to the middle of the hot tub and kind of like dead ends at it as it like extends wide across this like length of hot tubs.
So if she walks up, she can stand pretty much like in front of him.
In front of him, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there's like a crowd of people, but you can like kind of make your way through it.
Yeah, she makes her way through it.
Okay.
Watching around all the people under their legs if she needs to. Just kidding, she doesn't do that. That sounds rude. But she will make her way through the throng of people, and she will give a little.
Tedros will
can
follow
get any attention
behind her, but he will stop. Just like he'll let her take the lead, but he will not let her out of his sight for a moment. He will make sure he has a clear line of sight to her.
Right. Yeah, he's like just finished telling a joke. So when you get over there, he's just a bunch of laughter, and then as the laughter dies down, you can clear your throat. And yeah, are you like trying to make eye contact with him, basically?
Yeah,
get his attention?
she's making eye contact with him.
Okay. Yeah, he's.
If she can get his eye contact.
Yeah, he's like laughing and looking around, and then just eyes settle on you, and then just makes eye contact, and then just as everyone quiets down, just, oh, hello.
She's
Who
going
might you be?
She's going to curtsy in the cutest way that she can, and smile and say, "Well, hello, my lord. I'm Yulyanya Skybringer, and I wanted to thank you so much for your invitation."
Well, I suppose you have me a bit of a disadvantage, given that given you're here. I must have given you an invitation, but can't say the name Skybringer rings any bells. Skytaker, I know.
Yes. Actually, I was trained under the Great Reverend Skybringer, or Skytaker, sorry.
Oh, I see. So, did you come with a circus then?
I actually came on my own. I'm under Lady Stanway. She is my patron.
Oh, Lady Stanway then. So you being here and your circus being here, that's just a coincidence then?
The strangest coincidence of my life.
Oh, what a strange one then. Pleasure to meet you.
It's wonderful to meet you. And she'll just sort of bat her eyelids.
Oh, puke.
Are you attempting to woo dealer?
She's not trying to woo him yet. She's just making an introduction.
Okay.
She just wants him to know who she is.
Okay. That's fair. Go ahead and make me just to is that for me or him? Oh,
I missed it.
To make an impression.
Oh, a gun.
To make an impression, go ahead. I will let you choose either persuasion or performance. You're muted.
I don't know how I ended up muted for my nat 20. That's crazy. How much does that actually bring it to? If I do performance, that's 25.
Wow.
Danya's very charming. What can I say?
Apparently. Yeah, he just it's like, you know, he was he was in the process of looking away from Yulyanya. He was like about to, you know, basically brush her off and be like, "Oh, nice to meet you. Thank you for coming," and then everything like that. But then just like she just manages some kind of eyelash batting magic. And
he notices her eyes are just pure blue.
Yeah, there's just like the way the light catches her, just solid blue eyes, and then just like something about her, just his eye. He basically does a double take, and then just says, "So, you just come here to make my acquaintance, then?"
It's all I've been looking forward to since I've gotten to Titan's Grave.
Ugh.
Well, I suppose I wouldn't want you to ruin your lovely dress by coming in here, so why don't I come out there and we can get to know each other a bit better?
Oh my lord, I would be so flattered.
Can Tedros hear this?
Oh, absolutely. You're right there. You're like,
Yeah.
you're not, you didn't get through the crowd, but like you're just on the other side of the crowd. You can definitely hear this exchange.
He definitely just like instinctively pats that.
I like how much time Tedros is spending just with just his hand on his
And
gun,
the gun.
being like, give me a reason.
Do it.
All right. Yeah, he without breaking eye contact, because a nat 20 is a nat 20. Oh man, nat 20s and their ability to shape a story. He reaches just kind of back behind him without breaking eye contact and says, "Lots, my robe, please." And then as if appearing out of nowhere, a very severe looking water genasi. So a man with blue skin and green hair, pushed back, just kind of slicked back, wearing just kind of a servant's outfit, but he's got a very blocky kind of shape to him. He's what? Not that blocky, like linebacker blocky. Appears to be Dieter's manservant. Just silently steps up out of the crowd with a like silk robe, just a red silk robe held out for him, and Dieter is going to turn and stand up out of the water and go up the little set of stairs, and just kind of like holds it out for him to put it on, and he ties it for saying and like just hold, yeah, as he finishes putting on the robe, he just holds out a hand, and Lutz just like produces from somewhere behind him, presumably off a tray, a glass of some kind of brown liquid, and hands it to him that he takes. And then from across the hot tub, there's a path you can go around it. He just kind of extends his free hand to Yulyanya, inviting you to join him.
Yul reaches up and grabs his hand and smiles sweetly.
Okay, you walk around him, yeah, but he says, "All right, let's find somewhere to talk a bit."
I'd love to.
And yeah, he will lead you around. He leads you, so you're at the back of. He leads you a little bit further in, towards the back of the house, where there is a set of two sets of stairs that go up to basically like a balcony that kind of just overlooks the yard. And he leads you up the stairs onto the balcony, where it's a little bit more, like, seems a little bit more exclusive up here. And you can see there's just like a wide, like outdoor, like one of those like wicker couches covered in cushions, like outdoor comfortable furniture. And he gestures to Yulyanya to sit down. And really quick, we absolutely need to adjust Yulyanya's social standing, because she's just charmed the host himself. Oh, how much should that ring that up by? That should... More roll for it. More roll just to see, because I feel like that should be significant.
Man, all of those 8s were so worth it.
Yeah, and then, yeah, just the nat 20. All right. Yulyanya jumps from a 10 to a 14 in social standing. Leaves one ahead of Monty. Because you charmed the host, the guy who's like, as you're walking by, like, you can see all of the nobles and naval people who were there trying to gain the attention of Dieter. Like, you walk up and basically just snatched his attention. People have been sitting here, like, chipping away, trying to get his attention all day. You just walked up, basically just, like, grabbed him by the face and just had him. So they're all just like, what the fuck? And then all of the women and their mothers who were sitting around trying to also get his attention for marriage prospects are just like, what the fuck? So there's just this general, just Tedros, as you are sitting there in the crowd and the two of them leave, the topic of conversation for absolutely everybody is, who is this stranger, this young woman who just out of nowhere, as if from a storybook, appeared and charmed the bachelor himself, and perhaps even is he looking? Is he considering her now? What happened to Marietta? Is he changed his mind? We don't know. It's just the talk of the evening, or the after. It's getting to evening at this point. The sun is like it's thinking about setting. As Yulyanya heads up in that direction. Montblanc, you said you went to try and find the two of them?
They said they're going to the fountains to meet Dieter, so that's whatever. I would have like ran to that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You hurry your way over. Are you literally running across?
I'm gonna do a wisdom check because this is starting to get into like territory of him. Like I don't fucking care anymore.
Okay.
Natural 1.
Ooh boy.
Wait, bountiful luck. Roll that again.
You can't see me. Yeah, I think
you have to be near me.
Oh, I have to see you.
Yeah.
So I'm booking
All right.
it then.
Okay, Montblanc is booking it. I will say
Nat ones tell a story too.
Yeah, they do.
They sure do.
Sprinting across the party will lower Montblanc's social standing by
I don't give a
1.
shit anymore.
Just looking like that kid running to lunch at class. It's cool. You're sprinting.
Is he Naruto running?
No.
It's not Naruto running. It's not that. That would have dropped me by 5.
I would be at like -1 social standing if I did that.
Yes. But you run your way over. You get there. Tedros, you can see and hear Montblanc run over. Montblanc, you can see Tedros. You don't see Yulyanya.
What happened?
Spring bean.
Right. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool. Yeah. That was the plan. Yeah.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Unfortunately. Oh, I hope he doesn't kill her.
He will not. She is not going to be that easily.
Did he have a mark on his...
By mark, you mean
the
bigger chest.
The brand.
No.
Could he hide? Is there a way he could have hidden it with, like, the M word? Or something else?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I can show her hide things. No problem.
Actually, you're Montblanc.
Mm.
You hear a voice
Oh.
in your head.
Oh, cool, in my head.
It's your father.
Oh, cool.
Because you're near pools of water.
Oh, right,
You can actually
the hot tub. Yeah.
the hot tubs. You actually hear it from like it's in your head, but from the direction of one of the hot tubs.
Yeah.
Because he can talk to you from pools. This is the first time you've been near pools of water pretty much the whole day.
Yep.
As you're talking about that, he will say, "I was afraid of that. Malacost, the molting expanse. Stands to reason his followers could benefit from a similar quality.
Gross.
Quite. But it would, I believe it would be difficult to make sure a mark on his skin was permanent."
In my head, I'll think.
Yeah.
So does that mean all the Scarlet Skin Carvers can do that then?
I don't think so. I think he is special. I know that. He is... Malacost is jealous with abilities like that, and I think Dieter is unique. I don't think all of them can do it. I think just him.
I'm gonna kill him.
In time.
You alright?
No.
Okay. Let me reiterate. You can be able to do what we need to do.
I hope so. I'm fine if I get hurt, but if he lays a hand or hurts Yulyanya, I will burn this whole fucking manor to the ground.
Fantastic. Maybe we'll get Lady Shasa in there as well.
You'll have to fill me in on that at some point.
Well,
Do you think we should spy on them?
absolutely.
Yeah, me too.
100%. No question about it.
Which way did they go?
Now they went this way. Tedros will start walking in the general direction that he saw them go.
Me too.
Okay. All right. So you two can walk up
Back
there.
to my sort of noble walk.
You can't. You put yourself back together. Okay. Yeah, you can make your way over. You can see again. It's like that kind of back balcony type deal. I don't know if balcony is the right word. Terrace, I think maybe.
Terrace,
what I'm thinking
yeah.
of. Terrace. Yeah. I think that's what I'm thinking of.
Most likely.
Yeah, I think it's like a raised terrace off the back of the house. And there's a pair of stairs leading up to it. And Tedros, you probably saw Yulyanya go up. So the manservant that handed Dieter his drink and his robe is just standing right between the two sets of stairs, just arms crossed right there, a little bit forward, basically in like a guard position. It looks like no one is currently being allowed to go up there.
If shit goes sideways, is there anything you could do to that manservant without, hurting them?
Respectfully. I don't care about it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I just thought I'd put it out there.
My goal is to make anybody who gets between me and her real upset.
I'm with you.
And Tedros will look around to see how much privacy they have, if they can talk a little bit.
At this place, where you're at right now is probably one of the most crowded places of the party. Yulyanya did. Sorry, I forgot to mention. You did actually have to go through the dining area. It's the fountains and hot tubs, then the dining area, and then the terrace. So Yulyanya's up on the terrace. You guys are up in the dining area where people are standing around talking. It's getting close to dinner, so people are starting to gather in this area. There's places off to the sides, like the guest houses and stuff, where you could go for a private conversation, but you would have to get a little further away from where Yulyanya is.
Well, not doing that.
I mean, I cleared a hedge maze out earlier.
Oh, is that what that...
I was trying to gain the favor of the captain, and the women were pestering him about marriage, and...
That makes more sense.
I was trying to gain political favor.
You do actually see him around too over here. He is starting to find a table with some people, looks like some other captains. And actually he looks in your direction. When he sees you, he actually looks in your direction and gives just an appreciative nod.
Same. I'll nod back. I got an idea. Never mind, it's a dumb idea. I was going to start a fire somewhere. You know what, actually?
We'll save that one for later.
And I got acid. That's still in play. Oh no, wait. I think I gave that... Didn't I give something to Yule? No, I didn't. Never mind. So, there's no way we can get closer, is there?
Probably not without violence.
I'm down if it has to be.
Look,
everything's feeling a little too easy right now.
It's not. So you have been on the easy side, trust me.
I don't know.
The hard part's been over
Women
here.
are a lot. Oh boy. Not my forte.
I won't say that you're wrong about that, but no.
The carnival was bad, huh? Circus? Whatever.
Let's just say Reverence has a patron.
Like a patron or a gestures to arm patron or elsewhere patron?
I'm thinking it's a little bit more like what you got going on there.
Did
I don't think it's in a good way though.
like a and Yule's tossed up in that as well, or
It looks like maybe not, but I don't know for sure, and I definitely don't trust that
Wow.
woman.
so safe to say, don't trust anyone from the carnival right now.
Yeah, although I
Perhaps.
don't think it's necessarily their fault.
No,
Thinking they might
yeah,
be. But you understand.
100%.
Yeah. So really, I guess the question's got to be who gets it first, huh?
I mean, carnival might be a little tricky. Did you get any like kind of reads on what this person can do, like what we're looking at in terms of abilities, skills? If they're
No.
if they give out if they're their patron, they can do some sort of pact deal or whatever, like I did with so and so.
She was saying something about Yule not signing some paperwork, so she's technically not part of the carnival, and that whole technically part.
With the mention of signing a contract, can I do like any check to kind of try to deduce what that could mean?
I mean, the thing is, like, it is a job, so like it
Yeah.
could legitimately be just
There's all
like
this weird
actually
stuff,
signing.
too.
Also, I don't think the word contract was necessarily ever used. Just
Or
said
like a-
signing up.
Yeah. Okay.
There it was.
The
There
paperwork.
was
They called it paperwork.
yes, it's signing up and paperwork, but the word contract was
Okay.
never
Well,
explicitly said.
that feels like a problem for a later time, just because it feels strange, weird. And how is their tent here? I thought it was,
It's a different tent, I guess.
Yeah, actually, Montblanc saw the
Yeah.
tent because he helped Yulyanya clean it up. This is a different tent.
it's a
this
different
is-
tent. It's here.
It's a different color. It's new looking. Yeah.
It's here, just out of nowhere. At the same time, we are.
I don't think it's a coincidence right now.
Me
as well.
neither. And from what I was told by you when we met, they were attacked, and did the people seem like they were, ripped to shreds or scarred or hurt in any way, or because I feel like it was recent-ish. It's not like tents can just, fly away. Unless, if the tornado blows a tent away, but it's not like you could just up and leave.
Yeah,
But also, like, I don't know. I'm more concerned about who Yule's with right now.
does it make sense to say I'm not? Like, it's pretty straightforward what's going on with that. Like, that's a problem that we're going to resolve
And,
very quickly.
I spoke with Marriott Veer and learned some things. She doesn't want to marry him.
Good.
She can do magic, showed me. And she's got what looks like dragon scales on her back. I said they were growing. Sort of.
Okay, so when you say, like, she was, like, was she, like, struggling with it, or did it
It
seem
seemed like I don't really know. They're like kind of controlling a flame and making it turn into things.
So she's like, so it's not some like
And
person changing the flavor of
No.
drinks and stuff.
no. And she's, I mean,
Still a cantrip.
Still a-
Control flames is
yeah.
a cantrip.
but from,
But-
but from what we know,
Yes,
but like she
from
was
what-
like struggling to,
Yes.
with the
Compared-
presentation.
compared to was Monty in that? No, Monty was back on the ship. But everyone did tell Monty about that the university student, who took like the equivalent of, like, I think it was like 3 rounds to cast a cantrip. Marietta cast it as normal.
Yeah, so I'll relay that. Yeah, like, didn't seem to struggle. But yeah, the scales are what tipped me off. Because it's like, oh, I don't think I know someone who's into that shit. And she mentioned the university.
Yeah.
And then I told her who I was. Who I really was. Not really, actually deduced it.
You confirmed it.
Yeah, and we could trust each other, it felt like. And when I mentioned Dieter, I could tell on her face she wasn't happy, but when she was practicing her magic, she was extremely happy. So I said that there was room on our ship. If you want to leave this place, we take you away. Kind of get you out of here.
Kidnapping maidens, though?
No, she said you think about it.
I mean,
and
well, to be fair, we could probably use a crew.
And 100%, and also it feels like she's being kind of sequestered away with these abilities, like not able to use them, experiment with them, and learn about these abilities that she has. And I mentioned that I'm with someone who kind of knows stuff about dragons, and like I said, only because they look like draconic scales, and she seemed interested in that. So I guess we'll see when things go. But
oh, is that me? Am I the?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay.
But.
Okay.
Yeah.
While you two are talking about that, let's jump back up to the terrace here.
All right, can we learn about the terrace?
So it's like a nice stone terrace off the back of the house. You can see into the back of the house. It is like all windows here, so you can see into a nice great hall. Looks like this backs up to a great hall, like full-on dance floor, chandelier inside, just very nice. The terrace itself, various seating, couches, seats, love seats, things like that spread around. There's a few of nobles, people of naval garb on, kind of spread out. This looks like a much more quiet private place. It's a lot more quiet. And he's sitting there just next to you on the couch, on this outdoor couch in his bathrobe. And just, so, tell me about yourself. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from somewhere you've probably never heard of.
Really now? Never heard of it. Try me. I'm a well-traveled man.
It's called the Valley.
That doesn't seem fair at all. Just the valley?
Yes, just the Valley.
Any particular valley? Just the valley?
No, it's called the Valley, and it's a long distance away from here. I've been traveling for a very long time, you see.
Have you? Ever travel yourself?
Well, at first I traveled with the circus, and lately I've been on a bit of an adventure.
Adventure? What sort of adventuring you been getting up to?
Oh, meeting new people, fighting strange creatures.
Fighting? You don't strike me as a fighting type.
I'm actually trained.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
What sort of training you got?
I'm a monk.
Monk. So you sit up in a monastery and translate old writings, things like that?
No, not a religious monk. There's no religion in the valley.
Got that in common with here, then.
Seems like we might have a lot in common.
Gross.
Certainly seems like it.
Would you tell me about yourself? I've only heard about you, but I'd love to hear about you from you.
Well, my name is Dieter von Stark. I'm the captain of the Orchid. Actually, and he stands up and invites you to do the same. As he does, just, hand on the back to guide you and point you in a direction off to one side, where you can see a very large ship docked off to the side. The terrace is raised up enough that you can actually see it from like over the hedges and stuff. Just, there it is, in fact, the Orchid, pride of the Titan's Grave Navy.
Wow, it's beautiful.
She is. I am her captain.
It's a she.
Well, all ships are.
All ships are girls.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Why is that?
Well, I don't know why it is exactly, but I never really questioned it myself.
What have you questioned?
Oh, quite a bit. I'm beginning to get the impression we have quite a bit we could talk about.
I feel that way too. But you are so busy. There's so many people who want to talk to you. I don't know why you'd want to talk to someone like me.
Well, let's just say you intrigue me. Might I be able to invite you to join me at my table for dinner?
I would be so honored.
Wonderful. You have his full attention. Almost. It seems like there is one thing that also has his attention, but you're not sure what, because when he's looking, when he glances to the side occasionally, and his eyes almost are tracking, but he's looking at like the ground of the terrace, but almost like he's looking through it. I mentioned he's got a thing.
Yeah.
She's going to place a hand delicately on, like, I guess she can only probably reach like his lower chest.
You're sitting down next to me. You sit back down after.
I thought okay, we're sitting down. Okay,
yeah.
So if he's like looking at the floor, she's going to just like put a hand softly on his chin and guide his face back to hers. What's for dinner?
Whatever you would like.
Well, I would like something sweet.
That will certainly be arranged. Why don't? And he just claps his hands twice. And those two of you who are down below, will see the...
Take the shot, Tedros.
We'll see the manservant that was down there guarding perk up and then make his way up the stairs. And you see Lutz, the manservant, make his way over. And he says, "Why don't you tell Lutz here exactly what it is you would like, and he just pulls up the bathrobe he's wearing. So we'll get changed for dinner."
I don't know what's available.
Lutz is very familiar with the menu. He would be happy to help you.
Well, thank you, Lord Von Stark.
The pleasure is all mine. He's gonna stand up, bow to you, and then just turn around and head back inside. And Lutz, just stone faced, is just going to say, "What can I interest you in for dinner?"
What on the menu is sweet?
There's quite a bit sweet. What does that look for? What?
Nothing.
All right. There's quite a bit sweet on the menu. We have the finest bakers and confectionists cooking for this soiree.
Is there a menu I could look at?
Yes, allow me to procure one for you.
Thank you. I just don't know the fare.
Yeah, and he'll go over and come back with like a menu of options of a variety of cakes and cookies and tarts and all sorts of things like that.
She's going to look at it with like the widest eyes and then calm herself down, recognizing she can't eat the way she wants to eat. So she'll order like, a proper amount of food, like a entree, maybe a little appetizer of some sort, and a dessert.
Okay. All right, so he will nod, put it away, gesture for a servant over from the side to make their way over, says something to him, and then snaps his fingers, spins his finger around, and points, basically at the edge of the stairs, and just a team of serving staff just appears out from like where they were standing, and next thing you know, table is brought out, set up, tablecloth, chairs, candlesticks, silverware plates, just like everything is set up.
Eel thought they were going inside to eat with everyone else.
No, everyone else is eating out here. The terrace looks down over the like outdoor dining area.
She's terrified.
And as just about as that's finishing, Dieter comes walking back out. He's wearing a long naval coat, similar to the one Montblanc always wears, with just like a simple white shirt on underneath, open like mostly at the collar, wearing a very ornate rapier at his side. And he walks out and says, "Now has Lutz been taking good care of you?"
Perfect care, and you look stunning.
I say the same back to you. And then
Really
you'll join
like
me.
this? It's not too weird.
No. And he gestures for the table as he walks over the edge, and he says, "My friends, if you would please join me all for dinner." And all of the nobles, it seems like he just decided it's dinner time. And all of the nobles and everybody collected begins to sit down. And Tedros and Montblanc, you get the impression that like, if you don't sit down, you're gonna stand out.
Yeah, I'll walk over.
Well, so it's like at the tables down below. Yeah. Okay, so he's find a seat.
Yeah, Tedros will pop a squat with him.
Oh yeah.
Monty's gonna like glare at Dieter for like a couple seconds and realize he's doing it, and then sit beside Tedros.
Okay. Are you two just sitting in a random seat, basically?
Sure.
All right.
Yeah, like we're not like.
But as long I'm sitting somewhere where I can have constant view of you.
Yeah, you can see the two of them are in plain view of everything, so they can look down over the whole everything. You can see Yulyanya sitting there. When you glare up at him, you can see him glancing down and looking right at you.
Good.
And then smiles a bit. And as you sit down, Montblanc, can you please make me an intelligence saving throw?
Yes, I can. 19.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, 19.
Okay. All right. You sit down. Nothing happens. And you sit down and begin dinner. He just sits down, and dinner begins. As we'll pick up with dinner next week.
Tedros just sees me like bend the fork I'm holding.
What the fuck uses an intelligence saving throw? I don't. Okay, all right. I'm sorry. I'm good.
Few things. All right, thank you for joining us, everybody. Things happened today. Woo!
Yep.
Oh, we are in it now.
I need to eat a bunch of unhealthy food. Watch House of the Dragon when it comes out in like 10 minutes, and die.
Thank you for joining us, everybody.
You made him like 10 times worse than I had him in my head. He sucks. He's so gross. We just hang out in my bathroom.
Yeah.
Gross.
Well, he was in a hot tub.
Gotten changed.
Well, he did eventually. I'm not defending this.
He had a very stunning woman to talk to, so
he is gross. I'm not gonna lie. That is the
fucking
point of him. Yeah, that is his purpose in life.
He definitely knows it's me. Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
I doubt you'd have to make.
Yeah, I don't think you'd have to make an intelligence save if that wasn't the case.
I don't give a fuck.
Hey, who's that one down there? Yeah. Fuck that guy. I don't know.
Tedros, ready the shot.
Actually, I don't know.
Make a silencer with a tablecloth.
I wish you'd. I kind of wish you'd failed that. That would have been fun, but you didn't. So.
Oh.
All right.
Wow. I'm gonna kill him next week.
I'm concerned. I have concerns, but I'm excited.
I brought like social adjacent stuff, and I also brought like
I don't have my weapon.
Murder people stuff.
If I want to fight, I'm gonna have to turn into a werewolf.
Yep.
I'm a-okay with that.
All right, everybody.
That's gonna be sick. Anyway,
thank you for joining us. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.
I want to see what he thinks of that. Bye, everyone.